Hey guys, welcome here to our live stream here, Tactical Rifleman. I think it's like Tactical Tuesday 136 or something like that. No big deal. 7th of June 2022. We got a great show for you. I've got Steve Holland coming to visit. Steve's on the road. He's going to be here a little while. I got Jamie. He's one of the local law enforcement guys, a local detective. So if we want to do talk to a cop, right? I got because a lot of questions going on in that realm also. So we're going to get in the live stream here. Before we do that, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor right here, right here. Oh, and it's over here on the wall also. USCCA. If you're not familiar with them, guys, I actually got an affiliate code underneath the this video in the description if you want to use my custom referral link. But basically, you join the United States Concealed Carry Association. You got education, training. It prepares you with what happens before the event, right? And then during the event, right, you execute that training. But the cool part is these guys also take care of you after that event, all right? So, right, because you understand internal ballistics inside the gun, external ballistics through the air, terminal ballistics inside the body, that target that you're shooting. But understand, every bullet you shoot, guys, it goes directly into the jury pool. So you need to be well covered, lawyer up right away. And there's a bunch of different companies that do that for concealed carry. I like USCCA because legitimately they also cover the education and the training part of that at the beginning. So anyways, check them out. Become that prepared protector that you need to be with a USCCA membership. Good stuff indeed. All right, you guys, if you haven't heard, all right, we're right, because right now we're on Tactical Rifleman, the YouTube channel. But you guys know all my videos get demonetized and everything, or extremely marginalized. So what we're going to do is we're going to start moving these live streams to our sister channel called, plain and simply, TR Live. We only got like a couple hundred subscribers right now. But I mean, I got 443 of you sitting right here. So what we're going to do, we're not doing it tonight. But down the road, next few weeks or so, you're going to see that we're going to move this weekly live stream. We're still going to do it. We're going to do it every Tuesday, but we're going to move it to TR Live. That's another YouTube channel. It's no big deal. What that will allow us to do is I'm going to populate that with all of our good live streams. Not all the ones with the jackassery us just sitting around here, but like the ones where we have good guests like John Stryker Myers, John Plaster, Randy Wurst, Sue LaRue, Ronnie Barrett. Matter of fact, if you go to TR Live right now, the Ronnie Barrett video's on there. The cool part, though, is we took, and you can still watch it on Tactical Rifleman, but here, I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch that, but where I was showing Ronnie's pictures on my laptop, my son has gone back and re-edited that video, and he actually puts those pictures up full screen. So if you missed our interview with Ronnie Barrett here on Tactical Rifleman, I actually encourage you to go watch it on TR Live because you're going to enjoy that live stream a lot more. Ronnie Barrett, if you guys are not familiar with it, this is basically 40 years since Ronnie came out with the M82 Barrett 50 cal rifle. And everybody's been hitting him up for interviews, shooting whatever TV show, Outdoorsman, this, all these TV shows want to do an interview with Ronnie Barrett. Ronnie Barrett was nice enough to give us rights to his story. So it's a great live stream. You guys can check it out at TR Live, or you can dig through our archive here. It's still here. This channel's not going away, not at all. Matter of fact, I've got a stack of great videos that we're going to be filming. Next week, the film crew comes back in from New York City. You guys know my son films a lot of our stuff here. My son does a lot of the editing, but most of the editing actually gets done by Heather up in New York City. And then our sound guy and our camera guy, they're out of New York City also. And anyways, they come in a couple times a year. We film the bulk of our videos, and then all the extra B-roll and stuff, me and my son, we film here. So good stuff getting done. I got a bunch of great videos, but here's the deal. The film crew's coming in for 5 days. Now, we normally film between 8 and 12 videos a day. Now, that sounds a lot. That sounds like a lot, right? Because we put out one video every Friday. There's a lot of videos that we don't use. We don't ever post them. I've got my spreadsheet here, and there's probably 30 videos here that we have filmed. We never finished them, and honestly, I'm like, it was an okay video. We'll save it for a rainy day. If I get laid up with COVID or something, if I need a video to plug in there, we've got videos. Some of them are good, some of them are better than others. But our plan is not to film as many videos this time because my son is doing a great job of videoing stuff. He's got good camera equipment. They're bringing him down more stuff, more lighting and stuff. We're going to work on building us a official studio here, so I'm not just having to film all this stuff in my man room. I was having to move the couches and the pool table, and it's a pain in the neck. But we're going to try to film better videos. We're going to try to up our game here for this next bunch of videos we are. So, but the reason why I'm saying that is I've reached out to my patrons and I said, hey, do you guys have any ideas for videos? And they gave me a couple ideas, not that great. Like I think Donut wanted man skills. He wanted, how to use jumper cables. Just a little basic stuff that you could literally, I'm like, okay. All right. So I'm coming up with a list of videos, but I want to throw it out to you guys too, right? All my loyal viewers. We're coming up on 600 people live right now, 576. I don't want you to put them in the chat room because understand I can't scroll back through the chat room. I can't. So what I would like you to do is if you have a legitimate request for a video idea, Carl, would you do a video on the new M18 pistol that the Marine Corps got? Any questions like that, request for videos, put it in the comment section under this video. Literally, you can go to the comment section. You can put a comment down right now. I know it's more fun to put stuff in the chat. Chat room's a fun place to hang out during a live stream. I've got everybody in there. I'm looking at the chat room. I got a bunch of guys. I actually saw Aaron Dipadova and Moody too are chatting, going back and forth. Cool part was Aaron, the lip man, he was actually in my recon platoon. Come on in, Jamie. Come sit. He was actually in my recon platoon during Desert Shield, Desert Storm. Moody too was in that same recon platoon, but he left my recon platoon. I want to say 89. So they're great guys. They're both in the recon platoon with me, but they were just a little bit apart. Guys, I got Mike the cop. This is actually Jamie the cop. Oh, how you doing, brother?
Good,
I see you brought baby Ada over.
I did, yes, sir.
All right, so guys, I have got Jamie's a good guy, right? Otherwise, I wouldn't let him marry my niece. You'd be surprised how easy it is to hide a body in Western Kentucky. But we approve of Jamie. Jamie is awesome. He is. So anyways, we're going to start off with Jamie tonight. If you guys got any questions for law enforcement, stuff like that, we had
a couple last time, right?
We had a couple. One thing I do want to say is, again, thank you for your service, but more importantly, to all the cops down there in Houston, Texas. Last week, I went to the NRA convention down in Houston, and I know everybody, a lot of people bash the NRA, right? Hell with the NRA. And guys, I support Gun Owners of America. I support the National Association for Gun Rights. I support all 2A organizations. And for all the people that say, well, the NRA is hurting us, NRA is not hurting you as bad as all these other people do. And when people start turning their back on organizations like the NRA, you're doing nothing but giving the left what they want, and they're turning us against each other. I don't believe in that. I agree with you 100%. The NRA has problems with the swamp, the top part, right? And we need to drain the swamp. But that doesn't mean I need to turn my back on the NRA. So, anyways, I'm down there trying to influence them and get down, talk to them. I met with Alan West, Colonel West. You guys know Alan West is great people. He was actually running. I'd love to see him at the top of the food chain in the NRA, but didn't pan out this time. No worries. Anyways, I had a great show, but for the rest of y'all that couldn't make it out to Houston, I saw it on the news. Like every day, I'd go out and take a break, a walk outside, because I like having my picture taken with protesters. I go over, I talk to them and everything. And 3 years ago, there was like 7 protesters out there, a couple little old ladies. I actually brought them half a pizza because I couldn't eat it all. I sat down with them and why don't you like guns? Come on, open up with me here.
Let's have a conversation.
Yeah, I had a conversation. We didn't argue or nothing. I could not convert them. I couldn't, but they sure the hell weren't going to convert me either. But they had to admit I had a point, and I did not have to admit that they said anything logical at all, because they didn't. They were grandmothers and mothers. And so anyways, but this year I go outside and there's rows of cops on horses. Oh. There's probably 200 cops inside getting ready to go out. They got all their big riot shields, and if they never had to go outside. And I go out to get in the parking garage. I had to walk through all the protesters. There's probably 50, maybe 200 tops at the height of it, 200. And I'm blowing them kisses. And I try to talk to them. They don't want to talk. They don't want to talk to me. That's okay, fine, whatever. I went about my day. I got back to the hotel, and it's all over all the news. There's like 100,000 protesters out there. No, guys, there just wasn't. There wasn't. Maybe they were somewhere else in the city, but they were not bothering us at the NRA convention at all. We had a great time. I got to visit with a bunch of great Americans. Since I didn't go to SHOT Show this year, it was a good chance for me to visit with a bunch of the vendors, different companies and stuff.
What's your thought on numbers-wise? Was it down from last year? I know COVID threw fall, so what do you...
Yes, and here's why. Because last year, I want to say it was supposed to be in Nashville.
Yeah, well, Nashville was the year before, and I think maybe it was going to be in Nashville again. But COVID.
Anyways, wherever it was supposed to be, the NRA canceled it right at the last minute after everybody had paid for their booths. And they wouldn't refund any money. And that pissed a lot of companies off. Okay. So they were kind of punishing people. Actually, so guys, understand, if you have a question for Mike the Cop here, he goes by Jamie, by the way. You can put it in the chat room. Yep. You do not have to do super chat. Nope. And what happens is my moderators will actually, Susan Britcher specifically, she takes a picture of it and then I read it. Jamie, your thoughts on the Uvalde Police Department response? Oh, how did I know that was coming up?
I figured that would show up.
Yeah, that would.
I'll say this first and foremost. I'm not big on Monday morning quarterbacking anybody. Especially in our line of work. That being said, I don't know all the facts either. From things I've heard, it seemed like it was a shit show, which obviously an active shooter situation is. I'll put it like this: I think everybody has a plan until they get hit in the face, like Mike Tyson said, and I just don't think you know what kind of a person you are. You might want to be that guy, and then it gets a situation. I don't know. You've probably seen it yourself. And what?
You got the guys with the big lantern jaws and all the muscles, and then the first time the bullets start flying, all of a sudden they're sucking their thumb in the floor of the Humvee. You can't judge it till it actually happens.
I would say that active shooter's been going on long enough. We would our SWAT team would go out and do trainings and. It's just one of there's never going to be a great outcome. There's always going to be something to learn from or look at. If what I'm hearing is true, it sounds like crap. And if what I'm hearing is not true, then those people are just spreading the false narrative. But
unfortunately, guys, here's the deal with a lot of America: that was a rural town. It was not a big town, and understand the police department can't just schedule active shooter drills. They have to do it with the school. And like it or not, the majority of your teachers at schools are full-blown herbivore plant eaters. And that's okay, because I would rather have them focus on reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Right.
But unfortunately, a lot of them are they're total soy boys and soft gentle chicks and gender confused and all this other stuff. But even all that stuff aside, in general, your school teachers historically understand they're not really tough people. They're just not. And unfortunately, a lot of those towns, they want to, and they won't admit it out loud, but subconsciously they're thinking, well, if we don't ever do active shooter anything, it won't ever happen here with us. It won't. We just ignore the whole problem, and it will never happen. It's just never going to happen. And unfortunately, and a good example is every day those school teachers walk by fire extinguishers, smoke detectors in every room, sprinkler systems, everything else. They walk by it all day long, and these schools are so fire retardant, made out of brick and everything else. There's not going to be a fire in the school anytime soon, except for the chemistry lab. And that's the same way school security should be. But unfortunately, a lot of these small towns, they just don't train. We saw it here in our town here. And they have taken a lot of grant money. They have hardened the school here. But I don't know when the last time our school has done active shooter training. I got invited to go a couple times. And but I don't know when the last one was. I really don't.
When people have asked me about that in the last few weeks, or I don't know how long it's been, but recently, I've just said that it's not something you're going to legislate out. It's not something that's going to, a law is going to keep it from happening. I think it's a mixture of mental health, people not caring to go to jail, and just it starts with teaching respect at an early age in the home.
Fathers.
Gotta
have fathers.
Nuclear family.
Family.
Good morals set up, and you've a good guy gun, and that would have stopped it. There was an example not too long ago where this lady put down an active shooter with the shovel we got here. Is that good?
With what? There's another one for you.
Okay, yeah.
You good?
Right.
All right. This is from Ed P. As an officer, what caliber are you carrying on duty that the department issued you?
Okay. Fair question. In my previous department, it was 40 cal.
And now you can carry whatever the hell you want.
I can carry whatever the hell I want. And I just recently got a Glock, and it's 9mm. Now I'm shooting 9s. I would just say this: whatever you carry, don't carry two of it. That way you have enough beans to go around. You can have different guns, different mags, but if you're gonna carry 9 all the way through.
You understand what he's saying? A lot of officers carry a backup firearm.
Yeah.
If whatever backup you carry, it needs to be the same caliber as your primary. So I'm using this as an example. If you're carrying a Glock 17 in 9mm, you need to carry a Glock 26. So the magazines and the ammo is the same.
Yeah.
In other words, don't carry a 10mm large framed Glock, and then your backup is a
Snub-nose 380
or something like that. No, don't do that.
And
Same caliber. I agree with that 100%. Of course, people would say, "Well, why don't you do that with your AR? That's different. That's an adult gun. You're planning on going to a gunfight. You guys understand? Cops do not carry guns to protect you.
Right.
They don't. Cops carry guns to protect themselves. Their job is to protect and serve, yes, but the firearm is there for them to for self-defense.
And
that's
use your pistol to get to your rifle.
Yep. Heather Fly Fishes threw down $10
Thank you, Heather.
with a purple turd. You guys see the purple turd with a cape on it. All right. Heather likes her purple turds with capes on them. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Next one is from Cash Me Outside. Here's a question for Jamie. Isn't there some kind of penalty in the law for those who violate the oath of office? Surely something could be found to prosecute these people under under 2 cause. Under 2 cause.
Okay. Yeah, there's several ways you can approach that. Obviously, we have federal laws, we have state laws, we have.
Yep.
I would say I do know that there are laws that cops have to abide by. For one instance, we get sworn in at court, our testimony, and there's some people out there that are trying to get the defense attorneys to have to swear in too, so that what they say is under oath and true to their best abilities. I'm all for burying bad cops under the jail. I cannot stand a liar, a thief, and any bad cop out there erases
I want to
so
say,
many good cops.
Yeah, he's not so much talking good cop, bad cop, though. He's talking about cops that, for example, the one in Florida, the active shooter at the school in Florida, the cop that he refused to go in.
Okay.
That's now, it falls under dereliction of duty.
Dereliction of duty, yeah.
If you blatantly, the call comes in, hey, you got to go respond, but you're chatting up some girl on the corner, so you blow it off. That's dereliction of duty. But the bullets are flying, and you're some old Barney Fife out in the parking lot. You're being paid. You should run to the sound of the gunfire. But understand, if you had asked him the day prior, he probably would have told you that he would. He probably would have. But then when the bullets actually start flying, understand, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to actually go do something. So as much as I want to say, hey, he should be embarrassed, he should be fired for not being able to do his job, even though we thought he could, to criminally prosecute him, he didn't deliberately turn his back on those kids. He literally froze, in his urine-soiled polyester pants, and just couldn't move to the sound of the gunfire. And again, I was not there in Florida with that cop. I don't know him personally, but you see it overseas in combat zones. You see it on parachute jumps. It'll be bad weather on a plane, and some guy will sit down. He's I'm not jumping. I'm not doing this. And like, dude, you get paid, $110 a month. I don't even know what jump pay is right now, but dude, you get paid jump pay every month. You've got to make 4 whole jumps a year, once a quarter. That's it. My Halo team, we do like 60, 70 jumps a year. But for static line, you only got to do 1 jump a quarter. He's getting paid every month, jump pay. And bad weather, so you want to sit down because you're scared. You see what I'm getting at? It is what it is. So it's hard for me to judge people. I just wasn't there. I wasn't there. All right. Invader 137, Jamie, what kind of body armor or plate carrier do you wear or use? I don't see you in armor that much.
When I was on SWAT, we had level 4, level 3 plate armor, but most cops walk around with soft armor.
Soft armor, second chance.
And it's just easier to function in. You work 12 hours a day getting in and out of the car. It's really tough with a plate. You guys lived with plates, so,
Yeah, but we kind of got over, though, because where Big Army would have to live in their body armor, literally. They're out guarding an intersection in the middle of a city for snipers to just plink at them. We never had to do that. If SF guys, if I put on my body armor, guys, it's because I was going outside the wire looking for a gunfight. Literally, we were going to a gunfight. We would always stack the deck in our favor. We would always have helicopter gunships, fast movers, AC-130 Spectre gunship, drones. We always stack the deck in our favor. And so that's what you guys hear me say it all the time, or you'll see it in the comment section. Somebody will make a comment. Back when I was in the Army, and I usually started off with "Thank you for your service," and I'm sincere when I say that, guys, because legitimately, there are so many people out there in the military that they served overseas and they saw a lot of rough stuff. And you don't have to be an SF guy. You don't have to be a SEAL. You don't have to be a Ranger. And we're all on the same team. So
You might be a cardiopulmonary specialist or and not deployed.
yeah,
I don't know.
you were. What was it you did again in the Army?
68 Victor.
68
medic
Victor.
with a specialty in hearts and lungs and respiratory therapy.
Respiratory
On
therapist.
the outside.
A rugby player who went in the Army.
I went from hockey, wrestling, rodeo clown, rugby to
Rodeo clown just shows he's a dumbass, right?
Not getting to see anything.
Yeah. Rodeo clown, aka glutton for punishment. No credit for nothing. Next one is from chemistry student. As an officer, do you have a preferred way to preferred way for concealed carry license holders that tell you that they're armed?
Here's what I'll say. I assume everybody's armed. And if the cop is not assuming everybody's armed, they're probably lax in other ways anyways. That being said, if where I was a law enforcement officer, when we would run the tag on the vehicle, it would come up, they have a CCW.
See, I want that to sink in, guys, because literally before they even get out of the car, they're running the license plate. It pops up that you are a concealed carry license holder. And
dispatch would usually tell us. And I've had people have their hands out the window already as I'm approaching, and it's like, okay, convict or cop or concealed carry, like one of the three.
I break my wrists over my steering wheel so you can see both my hands.
Nice.
That's what I was taught to do.
I'm a fan of putting them on the door. I roll down all my windows. They don't have to check the back,
roll down all your windows.
Roll down all your windows. Off, all the good stuff. But no, you should assume everybody's armed. I would love for somebody to take a class, but I love the fact that we live in a country where you don't have to necessarily tell me you're armed. I don't know. I don't have a concealed carry. I go by Leoso, so I didn't do the class, but I believe they tell you you have to legally tell. I don't know all the laws. I just always assume everybody's armed. Always be vigilant.
My problem with this stuff is like
the bad guys aren't going to tell you.
Let's say I'm driving to Vermont. Mm-hmm. Not Vermont, New Hampshire, to go to SIG Academy. Okay,
like you're going to.
I got to drive through New York. Yeah. Driving through New York, I'm not allowed to have my AR in my vehicle. Okay. I'm not. I get pulled over for going 5, maybe 55 miles an hour over the speed limit. I got the cruise set. Don't judge me, right? So I'm doing 5, maybe 55, maybe 60 miles an hour over the speed limit.
Got him at 60. He was good.
And so I'm not going that fast. I'm not, right? It's a highway. So anyways, let's say I get pulled over. The guys run my tag, and this he's got a concealed carry permit, so he's got 12 guns in the car because it's a Kentucky tag, so that automatically makes him a redneck.
Yep.
Right. So, anyway, it is what it is, guys. So just be a good person.
Yeah,
be a good person.
It's a great question though, and I hope every cop would just assume you're armed, but. I would prefer, for your safety, especially these days.
Too late. Steve is running late.
Steve's running late. It's raining, so he needs to.
This is Jamie is on. You guys want Steve Holland to drive all the way in? It's bad rain outside. You guys want me to turn Steve around? All right. This is
John Rich.
Have some insight. I'm on my Tuesday live stream.
For the record, I turned my phone on Do Not Disturb because I don't want to be the guy getting...
Right now. Give me 2 hours. Give me 2 hours. Guys, don't...
I love that you have people that anybody else would be like, okay, I got to take this call. And you're like, yeah, give me 2 hours. I'm doing, hey.
Guys, John Rich, if you're watching right now, I love you, dude. But I'm not taking calls in the middle of live stream. I'm not going to do it. I love you guys, just not that much. All right. All right. So we're caught up real quick. I do have a couple of things I want to go over real quick. So I mentioned the NRA show, guys. It was a great time. If you're one of the guys that I got to visit with there, it was awesome. I do want to say that I went around and visited a bunch of great companies, and one of them was USCCA, the sponsor for today's live stream. And that's where I got that picture, the thumbnail for this live stream. If you see it, that's me and one of the guys there. We're actually in their booth. They had a big booth, bunch of Americans signing up there for the legal support, which I thought was awesome. Not Daniel Defense. Daniel Defense wasn't there. I didn't see him. Adams Arms was there, and I love that. You guys know I love my 12.5-inch 308, my little piston 308 gun. And so anyway, talking about them, about building another rifle in 5.56. It'll be piston. Working on that. Global Ordnance went and stopped by them. And you guys know I love my little Strybog. It's you know what a Strybog is?
I'm going to say no.
Okay, so it's a 9mm pistol caliber carbine, okay. Little sub gun like an MP5.
Okay, yeah.
But
not quite a bullpup.
Pistol grip just like an AR,
okay.
But all the controls are ambidextrous. Literally, lock and lever, selector lever, okay. Mag release, everything. And I look at this thing, and it's made in Slovakia. All right.
Niet babushka.
But think about this now. Every modern firearm, right? Because you guys have, right, ambidextrous selector levers. That's standard now. Everybody runs them. Mag release. Why would you not want an ambidextrous mag release? Ambidextrous bolt lock. Ambidextrous bolt release. Every modern gun should be fully ambidextrous. Now, the designs are there. Why would you not be using them? So I actually thought that was pretty cool. So I got a Strybog, I want to say 2 years ago. Now I've been beaten on it. I still owe them. I owe them a video on it. And I used it a little bit. But the problem, though, is the 2020 dumpster fire of COVID. 9mm got expensive, right, guys? 9mm got crazy expensive. So I shoot it, but not that much. But my only gripe about it was I had to use their mags.
Okay.
Well, they just came out with one that takes Glock mags.
Oh,
so
sweet. All
my Glock 33 round mags running this thing. So I'm excited about it again. So anyways, I'm going to be filming a video on that. It'll probably be a couple months before it comes out because I got to make sure it runs. So I got to put a bunch of rounds through it. Yeah, but we're gonna be filming a bunch. We just held our tactical precision rifle course. It was a great class. If you guys have not looked at precision rifle or the art of sniping, you know, everybody wants to take pew-pew classes. Everybody wants to come do pistol carbine, and I got that. Pistol carbine is fun, but for defending yourself and your family in an active shooter situation, you need to focus on pistol because that's probably what you're going to have. Yes. So with a rifle, home defense. All right, cool. Then what? Then neighborhood defense maybe, but more importantly, to defend this great nation.
There you go.
Right, so let's say the North Koreans, the Chinese, the Venezuelans, and the Russians and the Canadians all get together. They have a party, and
they start
the odds of that are so astronomically not going to happen. But hypothetical situation, if that was going to happen, let's say it happened. Everybody's thinking Red Dawn and all this other shit. Okay, that's fine. That sounds great. But me as a Green Beret, my job as a Green Beret, think the French resistance of World War II. Green Beret A-teams, operational detachment alphas, 2 weapons guys, 2 commo guys, 2 engineers, 2 medics, an intel guy, team sergeant, team leader, warrant officer, parachute behind enemy lines. Their job is to gather, train, equip, and lead a guerrilla force behind enemy lines, become force multipliers. Okay, cool. That scenario could happen here in the United States. And if it did, you'd have Green Berets going all across the U.S. Now, back to classes. You, in an unconventional setting, because you got to remember, you add artillery, drones, all this SIG intercept, all this other stuff, you are going to need, in other words, for you to help defend this great nation, you are going to be more of a force multiplier with a scoped rifle than you are with a pew-pew 9mm subgun. Yeah. That's just the truth. Yeah. So, and the admiral said it during World War II, the Japanese admiral. He's like, when asked why they didn't attack the West Coast mainland, was because behind every blade of grass is an American with a rifle. There's truth to that still stands today. Even with modern jet aircraft and drones that are armed and satellites and artillery and all this other stuff, even with all this modern stuff stacked against you, and we see asymmetric warfare in Afghanistan and Iraq. The guys with the rifles taking single shots were a lot more devastating than 20 guys making a lot of noise shooting up a convoy with their AKs. So anyways, if you've not looked at taking some precision rifle training, we call it Tactical Precision Rifle 101. And we just held this class for this year. I'm going to put the next class on the calendar in September. So anyways, be on the lookout. The class sells out pretty quick. We had a great class.
Oh, that's a silly question. Would you say that people who hunt and shoot rifles for hunting, and most everybody knows that, would that be up their alley?
No, yes, but more fieldcraft. They're used to moving through the woods, stuff like that. The problem with hunters, where they limit themselves, is a lot of hunters, when I tell them the distances that I shoot deer at, and you guys call them FUDs on the internet, all right? But these FUDs will look at me and go, well, that's inhumane. You should never shoot a deer past 200 yards. Why? Why do they specifically pick 200 yards? Because that 30-06 bullet doesn't have enough energy to kill a white-tailed deer anymore? No, it's got plenty of energy. So why do they say 200 yards? And that's because past 200 yards, their personal ability with their equipment, their shot group is bigger than the kill zone on a white-tailed deer past 200 yards. So I agree with them. For them, their limit should be 200 yards, but that is the limit of their ability, not the limit of the firearm or the ammo. So, and an example of that is the Hardy Farm, where we do Operation Valkyrie. I have a 2-seater stand there. Isabella has shot deer in it. My son Nicholas has shot deer in it. Z Durham's son has shot deer in it.
I shot that deer in it.
But the back fence there is, I want to say it's right at 600 meters, the back fence. Now, there's brush at the fence. The hill comes up like this, right? There's a fence that goes like this. Well, the big bucks will come up, they run up, and then they stop and they creep over the top.
Yeah, they do.
Because there's deer stands on both sides. So they know there's no stand here. They run up, then they go slow over the top to look and see if there's a hunter over here. Well, they come out, and I know the exact distance. I got data. I've got a time, because they're moving slow, to get that last minute wind correction. And I've dropped 5 deer right there at the top of that hill in 10 years. And I've never missed a deer on that hill. All right, let me rephrase that.
Well,
I missed once. The bullet went just a little bit high, and he looked around, and I had time to get a second shot on him.
Stupid.
So,
you gotta go, buddy. Just go.
So you're looking 595 meters on a white-tailed deer.
308 or
308 or 6.5. But that's because I have data on my guns, and understand, guys, literally, that's what I used to do for a living. That is me with a 308 SR25 Mark 11.
That deer was
know your equipment. So
just like, am I getting shot by the amazing Carl?
Yeah, because he's like,
hey, let me give you my good.
Yeah, he's like, oh,
back into the left.
What was that? That sounded like, but you see, gunfire doesn't. You've been here opening day of.
Man.
This is Western Kentucky, so opening day of rifle season. It sounds like the Battle of Midway out there, dude. Sounds like the Battle of Midway. You damn near need body armor out there. Holy shit.
Don't be wearing your hat.
Donut eater. Ask him what his favorite donut.
Okay, but I'll say
they don't.
They're not called donuts. I'm sorry.
They're called power rings.
Power rings. Thank you very much. And buying a donut in uniform is something that I never did. There's an amazing place where I worked that made great breakfast sandwiches and kolaches, and they also do donuts. It's called Blank Donuts. So you can't go in there and I'm just getting a breakfast sandwich. Fat cop uniform. Don't worry about it. Just get a breakfast sandwich. Don't put me on Facebook. The cliche. What's the Simpsons guy?
Yep.
You don't buy it in uniform.
Jamie actually brought his father over for coffee this morning. He's on his way to work. His dad is a OBGYN doc. Delivered half the babies in Hopkinsville.
Last name, yeah. Anyway, so
they came over for coffee, and I had a donut for his dad. I had several power rings for Jamie, and
and you know what?
I didn't even have one this morning. I did not have one. I did not. All right, we are. Oh, I got a new one just came in. This one is from Mike 9700. He threw down 10 bones for shits and giggles, and then didn't even have a question.
I appreciate that. Y'all don't have to do the super chat, but
easy now. Don't tell them that. You guys throw down your super chat money all you want. I spend. You know how much that 9 mil
bullets,
costs?
Yeah,
that 9 mil cost. Not
wait.
to mention,
just wait. It's gonna go up. Start reloading your own or something.
The sad part is the price of gas, because you guys are gonna hate Trump all you want. I understand. Trump was an asshole. I got that. Trump was an asshole. Trump was an asshole. But we were energy independent.
We were.
And when your Jeep only gets 9 miles to the gallon,
somebody had to go put a big old engine in it.
Yeah. So, anyways, for those of you that like off-roading or overlanding, stuff like that, you guys know I used to compete in this overland challenge, and it was the company that used to do that overland challenge. They canceled it. They don't do it anymore. So, me and my team. We still go off-roading. So, but we wanted to plan another trip out to. We'd already done Moab.
Yep.
Moab, Utah's tons of. That is some good coffee right there. We've already done a trip to Moab. Well, we want to go back to Moab, and I'm like, look, we might as well. Let's go Rubicon Trail. So we're gonna go all the way to Rubicon. We're gonna start in Tampa, Florida. And that's where Mickey's coming from. He's coming up. We're going to go up through North Carolina. He's going to come through here.
Get the AT a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to go through Wichita, Kansas. Okay. From there over, we're going to go through Denver. I'm going to actually pick up my son. I'm going to fly him into Denver so he doesn't have to spend 2 days riding in that loud Jeep with me. And then we're going to go to Moab for a few days, camp out there. From there, we're going to go the Rubicon Trail. Gosh. And it takes 2 days to do Rubicon Trail the way we're going to do it. And we're going to camp halfway. After that, we'll go back to Moab. It is a 16-day trip. It is the first 16 days in October.
I'm jealous.
And I want to invite everybody to go. If you guys have got a Jeep, a Toyota, I don't care if it's a motorcycle. If you want to come, if you've always wanted to go do a overland trip, you want to go to Moab, Utah, see the sights, you want to go do the Rubicon Trail, you do not have to have a Jeep.
I'm going to pick up Nick in Wichita. We're going to do the Dumb and Dumber on the little 50cc scooter. We're going to pass a semi. And so don't pick up Nick. I got him. Okay. You said anything, a Jeep.
He knows I'm going to talk to his wife, my niece, and there's no way. So you guys know our stickers, right? All right. Now, Mickey, that second year I competed, Mickey, I actually went on the web here and said, hey, I need another Jeep for my team. And this guy reached out to me, former Marine, and his name's Mickey. Mickey's awesome. And he's a Krav Maga instructor. So this is his Outcast Krav Maga, his dojo down in Tampa, Florida. Okay. So he basically took these two logos and made us a tactical rifleman overland team. So anyways,
yoink, I've got that now.
Yeah, you guys are interested in coming. We'll stick one of these on your window, and don't cost you a dime. Does not cost you a dime. Now, I'm sincere when I say that. You guys know to do classes and stuff, it costs money to do courses. me to pay instructors and stuff like that. But what this is a road trip. And literally, I want to invite all of you guys. Come on, I'm not paying your campsites. I'm not paying your food. I'm not paying your gas. But if you want to come out and go on a cross-country adventure with us, Nutrient Survival is going to sponsor my gas. Thank God, because between now and 1 October, it'll probably be $10 a gallon.
If anybody wants to sponsor me to take 16 days off and watch my child and my wife, and I could just get to. I mean, I would just saying. I will ask you this: Are you gonna let people jump in? Like if they meet you, they say, let's say.
You guys don't have to go the whole way. Awesome. If you want to, let's say you're coming from Texas and you want to meet us at Utah. Yeah. If you guys are coming from Minnesota, you want to meet us in Wichita, wherever. We are gonna meet at the campsite, basically in Moab. We're gonna wheel for a few days. Camaraderie at night. I'm not going to say partying at night. I imagine it'll involve campfires and music and alcohol a little bit, but it's not about the drinking. It's about the camaraderie. Will we be doing some training? Yeah, we'll be going over high lift jacks and all kinds of other stuff and different techniques for doing this, that, and the other. Some radio stuff, drone stuff, things like so. There will be training going on, but the point of it is not to turn this into a class where people have to pay money. It's not the intent at all. The intent of this is there's a lot of people out there who have had a really shitty last couple of years. Yeah. Everybody's been pent up. Yeah. Everybody wants to get out, and a lot of people need to get out. They do. Yeah. So here's an opportunity. I'm inviting all of you guys. If you want to hang out with like-minded people, it's not a gun trip. Will I have guns with me?
Depends on who's asking in which state.
Of course, all the guns will disappear before we go into California.
Yeah, I don't know. What? Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, but this trip will be 100% voluntary. Come hang out with us. You can leave when you want, come when you want, and
awesome.
we're gonna have a great time.
We're gonna challenge him to do some sort of updates. Hey, we're here
1 through 16 October. You can put it on your calendar if you want. Me and Nicholas, we're gonna film a marketing video for it. But as of right now, unless gas hits, at $10 a gallon,
you're still in.
It's gonna be hard, but I'll still probably
because it's 10. It's 8. It's 7 in California right now. The Rubicon Trail. What? How far into Cali is that?
It's way too far, dude. New York City drummer 23 Marvin. Marvin said, "Sup?
Sup?
What's up, Marvin?
What's up? New York City, man.
Marvin. All right. Mike 9700 0 for a 300 blackout out of a 16-inch barrel AR-15 sniper rifle, subsonic, suppressed.
What do you think? What are your thoughts?
Now you're saying you use the word sniper. Our old 308s, what we would do is, and we zeroed our guns at 200 meters. That was our supersonic M118LR. And then we had our holdovers and everything to go out to, they're good about 600 meters. Subsonic ammo 308, which doesn't matter if it's 7.62 by 51 or whether it's 300 blackout, it is still the exact same 308 projectile. It is. Okay. I know this because I reload them both. Okay, I literally do. I'm looking at my Dillon 650 right there. Mm-hmm. Right. Understand it's only good about 200. All right. Past 200 meters, that football is going so slow. Even if you're running 220 grain subsonics, I wouldn't go past 200 on it. So for you, me personally, 300 blackout, start with a 50 meter zero and then have data for literally for every 10 meters past that. 10 meters, does your data change that much? It really does. Understand you are lobbing a football. Try throwing a football 200 yards, 2 football fields. That son of a gun, you're going to be aiming high to get it. It's the same thing with your rifle. That bullet is dropping and dropping fast. You're talking just a few inches drop to get to 100 meters, but then at 120, it's going to drop even more. At 140, it's going to drop twice that. And then at 160, it's going to drop twice that again. And it's
And
just.
we've seen that out here at the range.
Oh,
on
yeah, yeah.
Sundays, you know, it's like compounding interest almost.
Yeah. My master bedroom rifle for my overwatching my fruit tree orchard is actually a suppressed 300 blackout. And I only got one round left in that magazine. One round. That means there are a lot of deer out there. All right. Let's see. What's his... Some of the shit you guys do. All right. Next one right here. We've had some more come in from the Donut Eater. Wait.
I like this
minute.
guy. I like this guy.
If they're power rings, then what happens when you eat a Long John? Is it a Long John a power ring?
We're getting into semantics here. I don't know that I want to put a Long John near or around that orifice while I'm in uniform. It's just going to be too many. No, I don't. I got it. You had me, and then it fell.
No. Whenever it says the Donut Eater, just start it off with, you have the right to remain silent, donut. You have the right to remain. Next one's from Hog Down, Carl Kama. Have you started developing the scenario for your next Operation Valkyrie yet? And if so, can you give us some teaser info?
Can you?
Yes and no. I have started developing it, and no, I'm not going to give it to you. Let's put it this way. It might involve a weapon of mass destruction. All right. Mike 9700 threw down $10. 0 for a 300 blackout out of a 16-inch barrel AR-15 suppressed. This is my second $10. You missed my first one. No, I didn't. I got it. Right? This is my second time reading
rewind the tape. Yeah, you got it.
Well, I got it. Just sometimes it takes me time to get there. Easy. Hold on. Annalise and Kyle threw down 10 bones. Hey, Carl. Just wanted to check and see how Randy is doing. Haven't seen him on for a while. Does he have plans on ever doing survival courses again? Kyle, I appreciate you checking in on Randy. I actually, for my patrons, ask your wife Annalise. If you go to Patreon, patreon.com/tactical rifleman, we have a Patreon account, and for patrons that I think it's $5 a month, you get story time with Carl. Once a month I share a war story. Well, this month I actually, and I just posted it yesterday, we did story time with Randy Worst. Randy, guys, leaves Sunday to go to Montana. He's doing a big survival training thing for a bunch of Gold Star kids up there. He does it every summer. He didn't do it last summer because of COVID. So he's going this summer. He won't be back until 1 August, right? But Randy is doing great. His hernia is healing up good. He is cancer-free right now. He asked that everybody still keep him in his prayers. Guys, you got to understand, Randy is 69 years old. Ain't that crazy? And he still gets around. The boy is a animal. I got a mountain of firewood outside.
The tree.
Randy, not only did Randy cut down the tree, but me and him with dueling chainsaws, we cut it all, and then he helped me load it all.
I showed up fashionably late, and the trailer was almost, so I grabbed a couple little baby twigs and acted like,
just always shows up right after all the heavy lifting was done.
One of my favorite people ever, Emery, is always described Randy as one of the best human beings on planet Earth.
Without a doubt.
And it's very true. Randy's awesome.
As far as survival classes, I'm actually trying, my family is trying to buy some land here in town. And if we can get that land, that would give Randy a little bit more space to play in the woods. And so more to follow on survival classes. Randy wants to. He is not retiring from teaching. He's very passionate about teaching just like we are. And
if it was up to Randy, he'd be doing one right now probably.
Yeah, without a doubt. All right. Let's see. Which was that one right there? Guys, I'm sorry if I missed your questions here. All right, this one's from Skippy. He threw down 2 bones, minus shipping and handling. I bought a P320 M18, yes or no on that model. Actually, I have an M18, Skippy, and I'm actually will probably be doing a video on it. I've had it about 6 months now. Actually, a little longer than that now. I've been beating the snot out of that thing.
You've been giving it hell. You've been testing it out for sure.
Is it a replacement for a Glock? Well, I mean, technically, it replaced the Glock for a lot of units. It really did. But is it as good as a Glock that you get? That comes down to personal preference. I will say I like the M18. I put the Vulcan with the primary arms 509 with the Vulcan reticle in it. I think if you're not familiar with the Vulcan reticle, that one's turned down. There we go. Guys, if you can...
Almost. There it is.
There it is, right. It's hard for me to do that. Guys, it helps you find your red dot. Anyways, that reticle inside the enclosed one, that's what I put on my M18. You'll find there's a lot of military guys that are actually buying those with their own money and putting them on to their guns at work. The government can't technically buy them unless they're made in the U.S., which is bullshit. But and I agree with that, but it just means somebody needs to make them here in the U.S.
Step up.
Yeah.
You want to shut this off?
Got that one already. Got that one. That one. Susan just sent me another one. Scorch Earth Firearms Training LLC.
Like
2 bones. Sergeant Major, glad you made it home safe from the NRA. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. It was fun visiting with everybody there. Manny Martin threw down 20 bones
20.
For the Power Ring
Thank you,
fun.
Thank you.
Smiley face crying. Smiley face crying.
Well, Power
Thank you,
Rings
Manny.
are probably more expensive.
Thank you, Manny. Manny, you are awesome.
Manny
you know
is
you're awesome.
Great people.
Manny is awesome.
Talk to him. Talk to him today. Talk to him today.
Guys, I'm still gonna go. I'm still gonna go to Moab. I'm still gonna go to the Rubicon Trail. It sucks that gas is through the roof right now. But what really sucks is it's not Putin. It's not.
No,
I don't get me wrong. Every time there's a war anywhere, the futures, right, stock market, you go to all the futures, they all go up. Price of everything goes up because of uncertainty. All right, and stuff goes up for a while and then it comes down. Price of lumber, if you check futures, price of lumber is starting to come back down, which is a good thing because I need to build a studio. We're going to call it a shed, a shed for us to store our stuff in. But for the film crew, we're going to call it a studio.
Look at your opinion on this. I heard that if we were to even open up the emergency, so Biden has a plan to save everything, right? Well, it's still going.
You're talking about the strategic reserve.
It's still going into OPEC. So it's not really going to change much, is that?
No, the problem with
still going to global supply. It's not just for us.
And every president's done it.
Yeah.
Bush did it. Clinton did it.
Trump did it.
You give up a certain part of our strategic reserve, and to lower prices, and it does for like a couple of days, and everybody's happy. The president did something, and. But it's nothing but a Band-Aid and a small Band-Aid at that. So, of course, Biden did it. And he shouldn't. You should never give up the strategic reserve. But every president does it because they're politicians. The one thing that really bothered me was you go to the fuel pumps now and you look and they all, your unleaded says it contains so much ethanol. And then your mid-grade contains so much ethanol, and then your super unleaded contains so much ethanol. It used to be only your cheap dirt crap gas had ethanol in it. So you guys remember Obama, right? Oh, so Obama, God bless him, all right. And I loved Obama. Okay, he was a nice guy. I got that, but he was inexperienced as a human being. He didn't know. You don't know what you don't know. But the reality is what he did was to lower the price of gas. He made it all gas has got to have ethanol in it, and that was great. It brought down the price of gas.
Made some farmers happy, corn, ethanol plants,
now,
jobs.
All of the corn then went to, not all the corn, but a lot of the corn then went to putting ethanol in your gas, which then ran up the price of corn flakes, frosted flakes, this, that, and anything made with corn. But the added bad part that nobody wants to talk about is if you've ever been down to Mexico or any of those countries down there, they run a lot of ethanol in their fuel. and it's bad for the motors. It gives off terrible exhaust. You don't get as many horsepower, which means now you're having to use more fuel to generate the same amount of power. So now you're having to use even more fuel. So it's a self-licking ice cream cone. Drill, guys, drill. We have more oil than Saudi Arabia does. Drill, bring the price down. And for all the tree huggers out there that say, well, you're destroying the environment, all the fuel is getting used anyway. So whether we're buying it from Saudi or whether we're buying it from the U.S., it is still being used. An example of that, guys, is apple juice. You guys all like apple juice, don't you? You like apple juice? The EPA, all right, if you take apples, I take 500 apples and I mush them and I get my apple juice, all those peels and snot laying there, it's got too much acid in it, and it's considered hazmat by the EPA. I can't dump it on the ground. Right. Even though those apples, if I let them fall from the tree, they'd lay on the ground and they'd all rot. But because I mushed the apples and I took the apple juice out, that's all hazmat. And the tree huggers, you can't dump that stuff. That's hazmat. So instead, what Americans do, you guys in the back, no, Jerry, move. All you in the back, all you guys in the back. We ship our apples to China on a diesel boat, by the way, and China mushes all the apples
because EPA doesn't care.
And they dump that shit straight into the Pacific Ocean, right there in the harbor.
It makes its way over.
Right there in the harbor. They dump it right there in the harbor.
Fun fact.
And then they put the apple juice back on another diesel-powered boat and send it back to the U.S. Why? Because that makes the EPA and all of my tree hugger friends out there in California happy. So when you tell me you want to hug the planet, I'm all about hugging it. But the only way to save this planet is you've got to reduce the amount of human beings on it. That's the only way to save this planet. It's the only way. We're not going to go down that road right now. Let's not do that.
Yeah, no. Not that
all right, so let's see
if
Susan sent us another one. More power rings.
I love the power rings.
Great stream tonight for precision rifle class. What would you recommend to bring for rifle optic wise? Would my SSG 16.5 work? Yeah, that's from Leaf LeBlanc. Rangers lead the way. SSG is a great gun, guys. I'm pretty sure it's probably 308 if I know Leaf. Guys, you can. The whole point of tactical precision rifle class is because everybody uses their PDAs on their phones. They're like I like Applied Ballistics, Straylock, Hornady's got a great ballistic program. There's lots of great programs out there. You plug all your data in, and you get this ballistic solution, and guys dial it in on their turrets, and they expect to get a first round hit. That's okay, but this is just math. It's an algorithm that relies on accurate data being put in. So tactical precision rifle, yes, you learn muscular relaxation, bone support, natural point of aim. You learn all that. Internal ballistics, external ballistics, all that stuff. But more importantly, we get into the effects of environmental conditions. Everybody thinks the wind. And wind does affect the bullet more than just about everything else, right? Gravity actually affects it more, but gravity is a constant. It's pretty easy to calculate. Wind is not a constant. But we also get into the effects of temperature changes from when you zero, changes in barometric pressure, changes in humidity, elevation above sea level, all this other stuff. Because as you change those things, those molecules of air spread out, less drag on the bullet, or they brought closer together. And again, it's math. So every 20-degree change in temperature, if it goes up, those molecules are spread out. A 20-degree rise in temperature out past 500, it's going to actually flatten that bullet out so it shoots better because you're getting more muzzle velocity. 1 whole minute of angle. So let's say you're shooting a 600-meter target, it's going to hit 6 inches high because the air is thinner. There's less drag on the bullet. elevation above sea level, this, that, and the other. So anyways, there's a bunch of things we cover in the course. And my point for saying that, rambling on, is for you to learn that, I can teach you that with 5.56. I can teach you that with 308, with 6.5. So the last class, for example, I had a guy there with a 300 Norma right next to a guy with a 5.56 gun, right next to a guy with a 6.5 gun, right next to a guy with 308, and a little bit all mixed together. Steve Holland made it. He's already got a glass full of alcohol.
That a boy, Steve.
What a wino. It's not full.
Well, that's the thing.
Only because you drank half of it coming down the hallway.
Not full, you had to drink half of it coming down here.
It's not full, and I don't know how far it's going to go because this is some of yours.
We know you poured it.
Did you freshly open the bottle?
No, it was an open bottle sitting up on the thing.
We know that you poured that full, though.
And
why would you not?
I don't know about this stuff yet.
Oh. But you'll test it.
You never know. You never. Guys and lasses, the legendary, the infamous
one only
Steve.
Steve,
come on over here and give me the spiel.
Brave the weather.
Come over here on camera, right there, the spiel. You got to look into the camera.
Yeah, over here.
Come on over here, Steve. Come on over here.
These people need a better view than my ugly mug. Steve, get in.
All right, guys. I'm going to let Jamie go. His daughter's upstairs. Always a pleasure, dude. You take care.
For sure.
And he's going to free up the chair for one of my mentors.
It was awesome, man.
Glorious, infamous Steve Holland. He even put his sunglasses on, guys. You understand? He came in not wearing. He's a big Stevie Wonder fan. Slide this way a little bit, Steve, so you get that logo off your melon, dude.
Man, if I could find my free fall tape or me jump mastering over Arizona, and just before I put the guys out,
Yeah.
green light, everything's good. I did this right here. Go, because I don't know where you're going. Good luck.
Oh yeah.
From 24,000 feet.
Yeah. No, just you look out.
Just hold your mouth right. You'll be okay.
You know, and I'd be there on the plane, you got oxygen mask on, and I'd be looking at the jump master out there, and he's all bent down, he's on the ramp, he's looking, and then I always landed right. You know, you get a canopy, and there's like, hey, there's a drop zone 5 miles away, you got time to get to it. I always land. I never landed in a tree or nothing. And then I went to jump master school. And that jump master ain't looking at nothing. He's like, yeah, it's green down there. It's green. That planet's still there. Nobody moved it. We're riding on an MC-130. The M is for special ops, which means they've got all the satellite and GPS and everything. That pilot's gonna, if he says you're here, you're here. So it don't matter how thick the clouds are. Yeah, but you're 3 generations ahead of me, Steve. So,
okay. First off, Tactical Rifleman Nation.
That's you guys, by the way. That's you guys.
How you doing?
Good to have Steve back. Good to have Steve back.
TR2T fans and people that I love.
I had a bunch of people
over
asking,
in the big island, in the big pond.
Aussie. Oh, and he's already starting that.
Okay, my favorite Jumpmaster story.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Free fall.
Okay.
We're flying along. Everything looking fine.
You're already in free fall, or are we up in the plane?
No. We're in the plane.
In the plane. Okay. All right.
It's O Dark 30.
O Dark 30.
There's 4 free fall teams on the plane. So every team, 10 man, 11 man.
Where we at? Yeah. We El Centro. Where we at?
We were in. We're supposed to be over Sicily.
Okay.
Fort Bragg, Fort Liberty now. Fort Liberty.
Okay.
So, I think we were on the 3rd pass, and first pass didn't go. They set them down. Second pass, they're a jump master. They go back around. Nothing happens. Third pass goes back around. Nothing happens.
But why was nothing happening?
Clouds.
Oh, they couldn't see anything on the ground. Else. Okay.
So, our pass comes up. God bless him. Howard Pat Dougherty, my brother. God bless him. Rest in peace, brother. Pat gets on the ramp. He's looking down. Now, you have to picture this. You're in the back of a C-141. Huge aircraft. Red lights. That's all you got. Deep, deep cavern like a cave. And all you see is the world out there. Pat gets off the ramp. He looks over. He goes to the other side of the ramp. He looks over. He comes back. He talks to the Air Force guy. We call the load master. He's the Air Force guy in the back of the plane in charge. The pilot's in the front. So I see him talking. Then the first two jump masters from the two passes that didn't go, they come up and all four of them are standing on the ramp talking. And then I see the Pat look at the light goes green. The Air Force crew chief does something, and they start talking. And I walk up, I go, "What's going on? What's going on?" He goes, "They can't see the drop zone. They're gonna scratch it and wave it." Next thing I know, Pat walks up to the end of the ramp, gives a signal. Everybody stand up.
He saw a hole in the clouds about that big.
All four passes
little green
now you
dot.
got, instead of 10 or 11 guys per team, you got 4 teams lined up on the ramp.
40.
Pat looks. He doesn't look off the side of the aircraft. He looks off the tail. He looks up, looks at the green light, and says, "Go." Everybody goes, shoot, 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 shoot. Guys going, shoot, shoot, shoot. I think we're dropping like 17,000 that night. Shoot, because you got the mask on and you got the humidity.
Yeah.
You can't see shit. Breathing like Darth Vader. So I'm like the last person next to the jump master to get off. I get off, poise out, and I turn back toward the tail of the aircraft. I always turn toward the tail of the aircraft because when we do our map survey, I can see it in my mind. Plane's going this flight path, that direction.
Yeah.
I'm not going to dive away from the plane. I'm going to dive, turn toward the plane. Now I know the plane is heading on 320 degrees. The drop zone is to my right. So I can just turn right into it and then delta into it. And as I get ready to turn, I'm poising. I'm looking at the aircraft. I'm turning. I see 2 chem lights come out the back of the aircraft. I say, "Oh, that must be Pat, the jump master." And I knew he went into a delta because when he came out, you could see the chem lights were spread, and the one in the back, all of a sudden the chem lights got tight, and all I saw was chem lights going shoot like that. I turned toward the rest of the jumpers underneath me. I see all the chem lights underneath me, like 21 of them. But I turned toward Pat again, and I see his chem lights just flying in the opposite direction. And I turned, I looked up, and I saw the Delta compound, the CAD compound.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh shit!" That let me know that Sicily was to the right. All my jumpers are below me, but they're going this way. Pat is going that way. I started to go toward him. I said, "You know what? Got to stay with your wingman. So I just turned to the group, and we landed in Spring Lake. They used to have an old place out there, a dam, and they called it the bar pits, the sand pits, or something like that, where they go shoot on the weekend.
Yeah.
That's where we landed, in Spring Lake, North Carolina.
So y'all landed in a group except for the jump master. He took off by himself.
But the good thing about him, when he got on the drop zone, he said, "Hey, give me some trucks. I know where they were headed." So I give him credit for that. That was awesome.
Funny shit, indeed. All right.
So what's going on tonight in the Tactical Rifleman Nation?
CMAs are this weekend going to be a huge crowd down there. Country Music Awards. Oh, shit. Country Music Awards are in Nashville right now. We're not going to talk about that subject right now, though, dude. We'll talk about it later. All right. Sorry, guys. My phone is blowing up here with stuff coming in. Full spectrum dominant survival of the wisest. Carl, my neighbor's large dog just attached my Dachshund, who passed 12 hours later during surgery. My wife and I don't know how to feel. Any words of wisdom? I'm assuming you loved your dog.
God bless your dog.
And support your spouse and mourn. One thing I will say, my brother-in-law, for example, had a miniature Doberman Pinscher named Koki, I think. And same thing, the dog was attacked by a neighbor's golden retriever and had to get some suturing done and stuff. And I would ride by on a bike and the dog would just bark. And I remember my son was little at the time, so I'm like, "Look, you need to keep your dog under control." Well, his dog came over, left his property, came over and actually killed my brother-in-law's little miniature Doberman Pinscher, and that was my brother-in-law's broke my brother-in-law's heart, having his little dog Koki die. So anyways, I went next door and told the guy, I was like, "Look, I catch your dog outside your property. I'm just telling you face to face, I'm gonna kill your dog. I'm gonna kill it. I'm just letting you know, man to man, I'm letting you know, man to man, I'm going to kill your dog if it ever leaves your property. And I'm just being honest. It was not a threat. It's just at the time my son was very, very small, and I don't play that. I don't care if it's legal. I know for a fact it's not, but I knew it was the right thing to do. Right. So he ended up taking his dog out to a farm, and they left that dog out at his friend's farm, and the dog never came back to the neighborhood. And I'm not telling you to do stuff like I'm by no means telling you to threaten them, but and I don't know what the situation was, why the neighbor's big dog attacked your little Dachshund. I know they're animals, and it's not necessarily that other dog's fault, but you did ask what I would do. So my suggestion to you is, you can't bring the dog back. Mourn the dog. Give it so many months, and then go to the pound and rescue a dog. There are so many great, great dogs out at the pound that need to be rescued. And get your wife a puppy, a cute one. I recommend a black lab. They are hands down some of the stupidest, most loving dogs you'll ever see in your life is a black lab. I'm sorry for your loss, dude.
Sorry
I really
for your
am.
loss, brother. I've been there with you. My favorite dog, Cody, he was what you call a Boston Dane. I had a black female named Jeannie I got from the Great Special Forces, Warrant Officer Greg Owens. And she had a puppy, but a couple of puppies came out gray. And gray with a white chest band. And we had 3 dogs at the time. And my daughter used to always tell me, she said, Dad, Cody is your dog. I go, no, all our dogs are family dogs. She said, no, Cody only listens to you. He only does what you tell him to do. And we're talking about after, 3 years old, he's 150 pounds maybe. And we had him for probably about 11 years. And with the Danes, you can tell when they get to the end of their life because their hips start to go. You see them, instead of walking straight, it's kind of walk sideways. The hips are starting to go. And the night he died, he was, I guess they call it the death cry, the death knell, or something like that. And he was just all night long. And I knew he was gone because when I looked at him, with the flashlight at night, his eyes were bloodshot red. I mean, just totally bloodshot red. And he couldn't stand up. And I stayed with that dog till about 4:30 in the morning. And he passed away probably about 4 o'clock that morning. And I remember calling in because, we had PT in like 2 hours. And I just called the staff duty, and I said, hey, tell my team, blah, 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 blah. I might be in by 9 o'clock. My dog passed away, and I didn't give a shit what they thought about it.
Yeah.
So I know how it feels, man. And Cody passed away about 11 years ago. I haven't replaced him. I haven't. I'm a strong believer in that sometimes the dog needs to pick you instead of you picking the dog. So 11 years,
Go to the pound and literally walk around, and there's a dog there that will pick you. There's
It's kind of like on Avatar with the little flying creatures they had. And she said, well, how do you know which one it is? He said, because it'll try to kill you. And that's the dog you want. The one that comes at you, if you can whip the little thing around his throat and tackle him down, that's the one you want.
That is some good coffee right there. All right, FB8 Chicago threw down 50 bones.
Chicago.
Regarding Uvalde and trend of tragedies, our soft community can do something, i.e. propose evidence-based teams protection protocols for our sensitive public institutions and schools and police departments. UVAs let Congress know how essential you are. 2DA USA, 2DA
Protection protocols and
Congress know how essential you are to DA USA. Now, dude, honest, yeah, rather than argue among ourselves and everybody's armchair quarterbacking what happened down there. It was tragic. It blatantly, obvious that police department did not have a current level of training where they needed to be. And unfortunately, that's what happens. But for people to say, well, if every cop, if every school teacher there had a gun, it would have turned out better. Or if nobody had any guns, it would have turned out better. Or I have people say, well, if all the cops had explosives for breaching doors, guys, all they needed was a key. But there are tactics and all this other stuff that the majority of your law enforcement agencies are training on it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, next time you drive by a school, an example is the windows on the outside of the school should be numbered. If you've never noticed it before, that's fine. Those numbers are not there for you. They are there for the law enforcement. But also I want to point out that everybody's making a big deal out of that they couldn't get through the door. This was a one-story school, literally a one-story school. Well, cops are trying to make entry on that door. Two other cops should have came up to the windows on the outside of the classroom, and they should have just ventilated that kid's head from the back.
Designated marksman, sniper.
But again, we weren't there. But I'm just saying there are plans in place for just about every situation, and they start off with first officer there, run to the sound of the gunfire. And again, I'm not going to get into it. I've actually got
not so much.
Yeah,
not so much. However, I would like to point out, number one, God bless the children.
For sure.
God bless their families. We should never have that happen in America. We shouldn't. We have it happen, and it becomes politicized.
Now, when we grew,
we have.
Remember when we grew up?
Yeah.
You guys had guns all the time.
Yeah. 30-30s down South Georgia. 30-30s in the back window of the pickup truck.
Windows.
And a baseball bat or an axe handle. Windows rolled down. Guys pull up to the gas station. They pull up to, discount stores.
Never had anybody.
You just didn't do that.
Yeah.
It's like
nobody shot up
somebody
nothing.
stole, Johnny Jim's 30-30. And everyone's like, what?
Yeah.
Then the whole town goes after them.
Yeah.
So, Uvalde, and my God, I can't imagine what the family's going through. I mean, my son passed away. I know the pain of that. And still, that whole situation, it is so many things that did not happen that should have happened. And hopefully we can get off the blame line. We want to blame the sheriff. You want to blame the duty officer. You want to blame the guy that's in the ops center telling people to go or no go. So it's going to be a learning experience. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a hard learning experience because we have an apparatus in the military, not just talking about special ops, I'm talking about all the services, especially when we're overseas. It's called force protection. And we have a guy that's his job when he's on the ground. While we're busy prosecuting the war, his job is to look at where we are, what the threat is, how we're set up, how the base is set up, how the camp is set up, even if it's just a team house. Mm-hmm. And he says, you're weak here, you're weak there. Very similar to Benghazi. We say, hey, we have some weaknesses in our installation in our facility, so let's address those. And can you address every school in the United States? No. Can you address the shooting in Buffalo, New York at the grocery store? Can you address the security in every grocery store in the United States? We're a huge country. We are United States. Like I always tell my daughter, she said, Dad, I'm going to Korea. It's a country. I said, no, Korea is a little thing like Florida, half of Florida. Yeah. They call themselves a nation. Okay. Japan, they're like that small. France, they're like the size of Georgia. We're 50 states. There has to be a solution, and I'm not jumping on board with the stop the guns. I read something today where that knucklehead congressman out of Ohio is advocating that they raise the tax on semi-automatic rifles by 1,000%.
So then only the rich people can defend themselves.
Yeah, only the rich people can defend themselves. and technically, And nothing against people that have already got their money. They when they got their money, they don't already have security. They have, they're in a gated neighborhood. They've got security at the gates. They got security patrolling. But the thing is, it's the mental aspect, and it's a lot to blame on social media influencers, and one of the biggest blames that I haven't heard come out from anyone yet on all these news outlets is Hollywood and the movie makers. I was trying to explain to someone the other day. I said, a lot of people enjoy the John Wick movies. I said, but think about what the John Wick movies are about. Wick. They are about shooting the fuck out of people.
Slaying.
I mean, slaying.
John is just slaying.
Yes, the first one where he goes after the son who stole his car and killed his dog. And he's in a nightclub. He's slaying people. I mean, the security guys are coming in through the... People are still dancing. I don't know what they're... It's like, oh, shoot some more, man, fireworks. And he's slaying. They call it the good word, slaying people.
But it's a movie. It's not
movie.
Real life.
But at the same time, if you got someone sitting there watching that,
and
they're doing the same thing that they were portraying on TV, like, oh man, yeah, get me that Glock, check that Glock, you have to point blame. What happened with Alec Baldwin? When he shot his producer.
Yeah.
Things like that. It's just one of those things that we have to come up with a solution that's workable. Unarming a law-abiding citizen or denying a law-abiding citizen the ability to arm themselves by going to 1,000% tax. Like the guy said, Uvalde, the guy had the, I forget what it was, the DCMA AR-15, $1,600.
Daniel Defense.
He had two. The DCMA was $1,600. The Daniel Defense was $2,400. The body armor without the plate carriers. The magazine, 1,600 rounds of 5.56 at $1 round. He came at about, guy was unemployed, dropout, but within like a week, he was able to buy $9,000 worth of firearms, ammunition, magazines, and tactical gear. Hello. I couldn't walk out of here right now with my credibility in some of the gun stores where people know me and say, hey man, can I get that one and that one? And let me get you back on the backside. $9,000 worth. And by the way, you see me on TV. That's no. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But
that's what you sounded like right now, Steve.
Think about it.
Okay.
Because spiritual wise, there's no such thing as coincidence. I'm sorry. I don't know where, what. I don't know, we got into this, steal the vote, don't steal the vote, insurrection, sedition. They hanging everybody that was there for January the 6th. But I remember people walking into the Congress going, oh, look around, touch chairs. I didn't see anybody. Insurrection? I know the insurrection. I've been overseas. I've been in the middle of insurrection.
Yeah.
I know what that's like. That's some terrible shit.
Yep.
Okay? But that's the focus. And we have situations like this thing with the WHO getting sovereignty over the United States and blah, blah, blah. And then the coronavirus and WHO and NIH, then NIH, WHO, and Fauci, those guys getting royalty from Big Pharma. They're getting paid. They're getting their money. Shots cost vaccines $3,000 a shot. And everybody's like, oh, you go get them. They're free. They're not free. Believe me. I know. IRS, I'm unemployed right now. Technically, I'm unemployed. But they bite my ass every chance they get. Why? So they can give out free shots? They're not free.
Somebody's paying for them.
Somebody's paying for that.
Taxpayers.
And somebody's getting paid.
Me.
So...
Oh, I got another one just came in.
There's a lot of stuff there, people. A lot of unanswered questions.
All right. Free mustache rides. This one must be for you, Steve. Threw down $5. He did not even have a question.
Is that a male or female?
And for you, you're not gender specific, so I think
No,
it'd be whatever you want it to be.
I'm gender specific.
It's
ain't no guy riding my
whatever
mustache. I'm sorry. I'm just here to tell you.
All right, real quick, I mentioned that we were going to be filming videos next week. The film crew is coming in on the 14th. We're going to be filming basically 15th through the 20th. I have invited Steve. Asked Steve if he had any ideas for videos he wanted to do. Eventually, we're going to get this guy a SPR. And when we do, we'll do a good video on it.
It will not be a Precision Reflex SPR. I will not take one. I will not have one.
Okay. So, but do you have any ideas for videos, Steve, that you want to film?
Oh, I've got some ideas.
Shooting tips, anything?
Carl.
No, I'm curious, Steve. I'm not just asking.
I mean,
what do you?
I ran a sniper school for 4 years.
I got
started
that.
some FOUT.
All right.
Okay.
All right, so
started the dog teams, dog handling teams.
What are
combat development for 12 years? I got some ideas on some good training techniques that I don't see often.
What I would like from you is a list of those, so I'll put them on the shot list. Guy, literally, Steve, look at this right here. See that spreadsheet right there?
Yeah.
Emery came up with look at. Emery's got 17 videos he wants to do. Now, am I going to let Emery do 17 videos? Oh, hell no. But I have highlighted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 videos that if I have time, I will let Emery do those in. Those are ones that I've said, all right, Emery, I'll give you a chance if we have time. I would love to bump half of those and squeeze in at least one video with Steve Holland, preferably 6. So 5. If you do 5, that would be awesome.
I'm having a moment here.
Oh shit!
What was the name of that movie with Tom Cruise where they had the 3
Top
psychics, the 3 psychics that were in the water, and they would see somebody murder somebody in the future.
Yeah.
And they would
shit! I know the one you're talking about. Yeah.
Then they would go arrest the person before it happened.
Yeah.
But they called the 3 psychics the precogs.
Whatever they were.
But the movie was
okay.
Anyway, I know we don't have that I know of that kind of capability, but that would be something, to be able to say, other than somebody posting on social media, I'm going to go shoot my grandmother. Another way to find this out. Before
you would think that they would have acted on that, right?
Yeah.
You would have think as soon as that popped up, somebody would have said, "Dude, this guy just said he's going to shoot his grandmother." Somebody should have acted on that. I got that.
Let me give you an example. I was at a party once in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
You were at a party in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
What? And it was a group of guys hanging out and having a good time. We had a big bonfire going. And one of the guys walked up to me and drunk as a skunk. And he looked at me. He goes, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And I thought he was kidding. And I was saying, "Hey, I'm hanging out, having a good time like everybody else." He said, "Well, I'm going to get my gun and I'm going to fucking shoot you. I'm going to shoot you in the head or something like that." So I thought about that when he walked off. And
did he come back with a gun?
I thought to myself, back in the hood where I came from, if motherfucker said, "I'm going in my trunk," you don't wait around for him to go in his trunk.
No.
Now, my SOP, my modus operandi, if somebody said, "Hey, I don't like what you did, I'm going in my trunk," my modus operandi was to kick their ass before they got to the trunk.
Before they got to the trunk.
As they leaned over to unlock it, I just started. Okay? Now, when this guy said it, I'm thinking to myself, I looked around and said, "Okay, I got no cover over there. I got no cover over there. I got a bonfire. It's like 20-some people out here." So I went on the other side of the fire and went into the house. And I mentioned to the person who was having the party.
Yeah.
I said, "Hey, so-and-so said that he wants to shoot me, so he's going to the car and get his gun." No, they said, "He's going to shoot me." And they go, "Oh, no, he don't have a gun." I said, "Yeah, but he said he's going to the car and get his gun." And the guy's wife looked out the kitchen window toward the fire, and he goes, "Oh shit, he's walking around the bonfire with a pistol." So I eased my black ass out the front door and hopped in my ride in the hoopty, and I got out of there.
That's fucked up.
So that would be, back then we didn't have Facebook, so that would be like a notification. When somebody said, I'm going to shoot my grandmother. Or somebody says, I'm going to shoot you.
You got to take them serious.
Yeah, got to take them seriously.
Got to take them
Until
serious.
proven otherwise, got to take them seriously.
All right. Mike Quigley asks, I've seen people put tape on the end of their barrel to keep water out. Remove before shooting or it doesn't matter. Thanks, guys. It's not just for water. It's for debris. Basically, keep dirt, twigs, anything out. As for taking it off the end of the barrel, it depends what kind of tape you use, number one. Depends how much tape. If guys' earplug would keep it from going up inside the barrel at all, and basically protected the crown of the barrel very, very well. One thing I will say is if you forgot it there, it did not matter, because that first bullet, when you pull the trigger, all that air compresses in the barrel and it will pop that thing like a cork.
Exactly.
Right.
One of the things we used to do down when I was down in Central South America back in my early days, we would put condoms on the end of the gun, and we either wrap it with a piece of tape or tie it off with a piece of string or something like that. And just because you were in a rainforest, triple canopy, it's wet. Everything is wet. Everything gets like soaky wet, So with that first shot, like Carl says, whatever's there, as long as it's not something, a hard obstruction in the barrel, is going to go. Okay? And again, we're not talking about bench rest accuracy here. If you have to shoot in a timely manner, in that, let me take this piece of duct tape or Gorilla Tape or earphone plug out of my barrel before I shoot back, then you're slow getting into the fight. So anything that's soft and is loose, like I said, we had condoms, and I think the other thing was the little things, they look like condoms, but they go on the tip of your finger.
The little, they call them finger cots.
Finger what?
Cots.
Cots?
COTS, cots, but it's basically a finger condom.
Oh, I thought you said a finger cock.
No, dude.
I just want to clarify.
Cots.
I want to clarify. I mean,
they're like rubber gloves, guys, but
like,
they're designed to go over one finger.
it's not like you wear any colors other than like.
We would put them in the little pill bags, individual prescription bags, and we'd write extra small condoms, and we'd put them in like guys' bags and stuff for them to bring home to their wives and stuff. Anyways, I digress a little bit. We actually got another one here, and this one is from Sherry Champagne. And I was asking for ideas for videos.
That flows. Sherry Champagne.
You know, Sherry Champagne's she's kind of your type too, Steve. She really is. Sherry Champagne threw down $5. Carl, she said who, but she said what about?
If she was my type, she'd just throw down $6.8.
What about doing another movie, a military movie review for a TR video, and have Steve review the movie with you? What they're talking about, you just mentioned John Wick, right?
Right.
I actually did Action Guys on Action Movies. I did a review of John Wick 2. I also did a review of Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, I love the movie.
Right? Good movie. So you decide what movie you want to do, and we'll do a review of it. It gets completely demonetized for copyright violations, but it doesn't matter. Our videos all get demonetized anyways.
Well, for one thing, since
what movie would you do?
For one, Miss Sherry Champagne kind of reminds me of the old days with Evelyn Champagne. But I digress. If it's for calling you guys, I will. But I will say this. I know all the movies, action movies, they have their experts on the ground showing the actors what to do and stuff like that. So I would never want any of those guys to like walk up to me one day at like the NRA show or the SHOT Show or something like that. Hey Steve, man, you a call?
You done me out.
I was like, dude, like really? Come on, man. Like all this shit, Like, what was it, John Wick 3, where they were in the museum throwing knives at each other?
Oh, yeah.
The only realism is that is that they at least show that knives don't always land point first.
Yeah.
You know, but I will give them credit for that.
Yeah.
So, Miss Champagne, I will endeavor to persevere whenever Carl notifies me to assist him.
You just come up with a movie you want to do, Steve, and then come up with your list of 5 videos you want to do, and I'll put them on the list.
Okay.
Piece of cake.
Piece of cake.
But you guys want to see some Friday videos with Steve Holland, right? You guys got to understand. Y'all love Steve Holland because Steve's funny and everything, and he's great personality. He's very energetic. But Steve is also a total wealth of knowledge, and I've learned a lot from Steve. And I want to give you guys the opportunity to learn from Steve also.
Steve ain't no John Wick.
No. Shit, I don't want you to be John Wick, dude.
If John Wick would have said something about my wife,
he'd be like,
and he knew it was my wife,
John.
He would slap himself instead of walking on stage like Will did and slap my boy Chris. Because Steve don't play that. I really don't play that. I'm here to tell you, I'm a God-fearing man, and I love humanity. And I love people. It just we're born into a world of sin, and this world we live in. And God bless all the good people, because we got enough bad ones. You know, I mean, everything around us is like legalized theft. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Credit cards, for example. Okay? Every time you turn around, you're getting charged for something. Your phone, every time you turn around, you're getting charged for something. That's legalized theft. Legalized theft. I was watching today. I wanted to try the new Arby Angus burger. Okay?
Sounds good. Was it good?
If you look at the commercial they show, this big, juicy, I mean, like, it's a man burger. I mean, you want to like growl and
you
shit.
You got there and it's like some little, yeah.
And if you look at the commercial, down there in fine print, it says Wagyu beef blended with regular beef. Why do you have to put the little tiny little words down there to justify the lie you're showing us? Okay, because when I opened the bag, I looked at it, I said, "There's some curly fries," and I was like, "Hey, what's that down there in the bottle?" I said, "I thought you must have gave me the wrong burger." She said, "You wanted the Wagyu beef with the bacon, no onion?" I said, "Yes." I said,
"Well, honey, that's it."
I'm expecting to have to put 2 hands down in the bag and pick this bitch up and like get into it. Now, I haven't tried the burger they're showing where the guy, you got Jurassic Park and the velociraptors are coming and the guy's underneath the table and the girl goes, "What are you going to do?" And this guy got this big ass burger with all this sliced beef hanging off and he's like eating this thing. I bet if I go get one of those, that shit'll be like this right here. About that big. It's like legalized stuff. It's just lies. Because, you know, you're looking at something and go like, "Oh, well, you didn't read the fine print." Why the fuck you need fine print? Why can't you print that shit bold? Okay? Like 14 font. Why you gotta print it like 3 font? Okay? I gotta put my glasses on and shit and readjust. Why in a society, if it's not legalized stuff, do you have to do that? Huh? I mean, it's that's the kind of world we're in right now. And then we have all these atrocities and people look around and go, "What's going on? What's happening?" You know? And, you know, I digress. Carl, anyway, what's up next?
We're going to see if Susan sent us another one, I believe. Let me see here real
Susan!
quick.
Ozzy.
All right.
We still have not come up with a comparable United States of America
Let's go
version. No, because that's only based on Biden. The Ozzy, like I said, they could be in like downtown Japan, Tokyo, and go, Ozzy, and they're going to go, oi. See, that's what I'm saying, man. We have to have something that's got the last past Biden.
No, dude, we hear gunfire and everybody goes running out of the shopping mall. That's what we do here. All right, our boy Hemingway.
They do run. You know how you see those movies and the plane is coming and the barrels are firing on the wings and you see this track of bullets, but the person keeps running straight. You're thinking, Jeep left, Jeep right. Why the fuck you going in a straight line? You know, I saw that on the thing.
Because the plane's only doing 400 knots.
Yeah,
you know?
But the other day, and God bless him, I knew he was running for the Lions. Was it Philadelphia? They had the shooting at the club, and everybody's running. They showed everybody running down the street, and they were all running straight down the sidewalk. I'm like, why are you running straight down the sidewalk if they're shooting down the sidewalk? I don't understand that. Okay.
Our boy Hemingway, does Carl have a discount code for night vision guys? Please say yes. Yes, but the reality is I don't. I'm friends with Felix, the guy that owns the night vision guys. It is a great company. If you're not familiar with night vision guys, I'm talking about selling night vision to civilians. Number one company is Optics Planet. They sell to, they're big, right? The number two is Amazon. Go figure. Yeah. The number three is the night vision guys. And how do they do that? How do they stay that high up on the list compared to Brownells and all these other big surplus places? Is they do it by literally cutting the prices. Their profit margin is next to nothing. So I like that they're getting the stuff to me, a civilian, a lot cheaper than these other places, number one. And number two, they just got great customer service. And I want to say, well, it was just me, because if I call up, it's kind of cool that you can actually call the president of the company, the guy that owns the thing. But the reality is it's not. He reaches out to me every once in a while. I don't call him with questions. One of you guys will reach out and say, Carl, what do you think about this? Or can you help me out with this? I'm like, yes, I can. Reach out to night vision guys. Literally call them. Go to their website, get the phone number, and call them. And every time, you guys will text me back or email me back or tell me on Instagram or Facebook, whatever that, hey, Carl, I actually reached out to the night vision guys and they hooked me up. They answered this for me. They do a great job. They do. So I got my D-ball there. I've gotten a bunch of set of nods from them. And I get nods from other people too. But I wish I had a discount code. No, here's what I will say is I think we actually had one back in the day. Now, when you do discount codes, promo codes, they're in general only good for so long before you have to renew them. So I honestly don't remember. So what I would ask you to do, guys, is for the night vision guys, call them and ask them, hey, does Tactical Rifleman TR10 or TR5, whatever it is, does that still work? And they'll probably tell you, no, that hasn't worked in 2 years. Or they might say, oh, snap, we forgot to turn that back on. I don't even remember what it is because, guys, I don't buy, you understand, I don't buy night vision. I don't. I wish I could say I could afford it, but the reality is I can't. I'm putting my daughter through college, and it's hard for me to tell the wife, hey, honey, I know I've got $100,000 worth of night vision gear, but I really need to buy this new $12,000 thermal. You understand? That's a hard sell for me. So I have thermals, I have clip-ons, I have dedicated Gen 3s, I have dedicated dedicated thermal clip-ons, I have monoculars, binos, this, that, the other. I do, because I teach classes. I teach a lot of classes, but also before I retired, I was helping a lot of these companies develop their night vision, and they'd give me 20 sets to try out. And every once in a while, they would say, Carl, you just hold on to that one. We'll let you know if we ever need it back. And I'm like, are you sure? Because that son of a gun's $7,000. And they were like, yeah. And I'm doing this outside the military. I was not doing this like where Steve was doing force modernization and everything in the military. All that stuff was on the books. We could never keep any of that stuff. So what he's saying is he's going to make sure you guys get taken care of. Yeah, at the night vision guys, without a doubt. Who's that? John Rich watching now. Hey guys, for those of you in the studio audience here, Jerry, move out of the way so Erica can see. There we go. Guys, John Rich is there in the chat room with you. So y'all feel free to chat with John Rich. John Rich is good people. John, if you're watching, and Steve just said you were. I want to thank you again for letting us hang out at the Redneck Riviera. Guys, if you like country music or you just like good rock and roll, if you're ever in Nashville, it's right down there on Broadway. It is a great little bar. It's called the Redneck Riviera. It's owned by John Rich. Now, John may not be there every day, but you walk in there, and I'm here to tell you, you can feel the love in that building. You really can. He is a big supporter of not just the military, but law enforcement and everything. And what was the name of that guy who was singing on the first floor?
Oh my gosh,
he was awesome.
He was awesome. He's a former military guy.
Yeah, I brought my family after the live stream we did there.
Downstairs with Sue.
Yeah, we went downstairs. Oh, my plan was to stay like 10 minutes, finish one beer, and we stayed down there like 2 hours just listening to this guy. But John, me and Steve, we enjoyed that pistol class we did with you and your brother and your father.
And his dad.
His wife gave him it as a birthday present.
Pastor Rich.
Yep. And your dad's awesome.
Hey.
Yeah, I hope you bought him an adult pistol though.
God bless Pastor Rich. God bless the M1911.
He showed up with his old. I mean, it needed to be behind glass. It really did. So John did good.
However,
he did all right with it.
When he's punching out, it might be old, but they say, beware of an old man in a profession where men die young.
Except he's a pastor.
That's even worse. Because he'll bless you on your way out. Sorry, my brother. God bless you.
We had a great time, John. About that subject, John, that I asked Steve and Travis to reach out to you about. Honest, I really don't have any more substantial information to give you other than it is a credible. It is a credible threat. So that's. I don't want to give anything more than that because of ongoing investigations and stuff. I don't want to help the bad guys.
And for all of you that didn't get a chance to watch T2 the night we filmed at the Redneck Riviera, and obviously we didn't video. You guys didn't attend the training we did with John and his family. John Rich is a phenomenal marksman, and I'm talking carbine, I'm talking pistol. It was interesting in that he and I have shot together a couple of times, but it wasn't until the T2 night at the Redneck Riviera that he mentioned that his grandfather was a World War II veteran, and he taught John as he was coming up how to shoot. I mean, he's got the basic fundamentals, and I don't see that in a lot of guys, especially these days. You know, especially your famous group, the Pew Pew Tactical people, what we call them. You know, you ask them, name me the 8 fundamentals of marksmanship. They look at you like you're crazy. You know, I mean, it's the millennial generation of John Wick. Everybody wants to wick people out. You know. All that crazy stuff, you know, and then, you know, you got one shooter and 19 people, and all of a sudden it's not cool anymore, you know.
We had a couple more come in. This one is from Kraken Tactical EDC. This is 10 Australian quid. Hi guys, can Steve please review the movie Commando and let us know if Green Berets really get eaten for breakfast? I love that.
Was it?
It was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, no, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Was it Jesse Ventura?
No, Jesse's in Predator.
Yeah.
You scared? This Green Beret's gonna whip that ass. Yeah. I eat Green Berets for breakfast. My favorite part.
Yeah, you know what I would really say? Who asked the question?
Kraken. John is a custom knife maker in Australia.
Really?
And he makes some of the best knives. I think this is... All right, guys, this is actually my Patreon limited edition knife right here. And,
wait a minute now. You know, I always bring a knife to the show now.
No, dude. No, you're not.
I always bring a knife.
This is some of Kraken's work right here, guys. I don't know if y'all
Wait a
can
minute,
see
wait a minute. Let me
that,
see.
but
Let me
and
Kraken guy. Yours is bigger than mine. Theoretically.
oh no, dude,
Right now, I'm soft. Okay, you're kind of engorged.
give me my knife back. Have you seen Randy's knife? His big damn cowboy.
No.
Well, Kraken made that one too. You haven't seen the damn cowboy knife?
How about this Kraken?
No, that's nothing. Dude, let me
About
find
this?
your damn
How
cowboy.
about
I got
this?
damn cowboy right here.
How about this one? This is one of the ones. Now, all you guys out in Tactical Rifle Nation, you know every time I come on the show, I always bring a bladed tool. It's a tool.
This is how the knife comes, by the way, guys. That's how big this knife is.
It's bigger than my tool here.
This is the one Randy designed. That's not a knife. This is a knife. The freaking thing won't fit on the TV. Look how big that son of a gun is. Now, TR logo on one side, and then the other side has got the damn cowboy logo, which is Randy's
Randy
old
Works.
A-team. So TR logo on one side. Anyways,
So-
Randy designed that knife.
Randy's.
And-
I was surprised. Randy. I thought I've seen all of Randy's knives.
That one is actually on his gun belt. Who would put that on a gun belt? Maybe somebody going through the jungles of Central South America.
Randy designed this similar to the knife I did with Fifth Group when I was doing the.
I remember that knife. I
yeah.
never got one, but that was a nice knife.
That was the guy we were in Coyote Ugly with.
Yes.
Jerry Bussick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good knife.
Yeah, hey, we're not
That was
going to
a
talk
knife.
about that
Yeah,
knife.
right,
That
yeah.
night. We're not.
No Coyote Ugly stories
just
tonight.
in case his wife is watching, because.
No Coyote Ugly stories tonight, or you know what? Well, come on, you. This is interesting.
That's a badass knife. That's not interesting. Not the
I
correct
wouldn't go
word.
so far as like
I'll say.
putting it into like the top 5 of badass knives, but
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's knife. But I'm
I'm
here
not
to tell
coveting
you,
his knife.
I'm glad.
I'm just saying that.
No, but Kraken hooked me up with one for introducing Randy to
I
him.
always bring a knife to the
him.
show,
Yeah, okay.
and I've mentioned to the TR Nation before. I don't consider myself as having average hands. Okay, I would say a little bit above average, maybe. And it's very important to me where the pommel is on a knife. The moment I pick up a knife, but my area right here is looking for contact. If I don't get contact in that area, contact in that area here, in this little thing right here, it's like, well, for you men,
It fits, don't it?
for you men, you know
It fits.
what that looks like. You know what I mean, men. And all you other ones, you get the circle thing. We don't want the circle thing. We want the thing with the like that.
Keep it PG-13. Thank you very much.
I never even thought about that.
Keep
Check
it
that out, Carl.
PG-13.
Carl, look at that. See, it's the difference between that and a circle, right? Poke your circle. Anyway,
John. Give me that back. You're cut off, dude. You're so cut off. All right, we got a next one.
Anyway, this
Is
was
from-
the other one that I bought tonight that I'm going to show you guys. This is an Israeli design thing, and Randy and I played with this. I'm still kind of like
You and
working it
Randy were
out.
playing with it? What?
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm still trying to work it out, but it's like a little hatchet thing, and I'm always looking at utility versus the weight. Is the weight acceptable versus the utility? So I do like it's got a sharpened top, got a sharpened head or whatever you knife people call it, and it's got this little head busting thing.
Head thing. I was gonna say brain bucket.
So Randy and I have been playing with these for almost a year now.
Randy would not carry that. No way. Nada. Nope.
I disagree with you.
I don't think so. I don't.
Or maybe he's just
okay,
doing
well,
it to be nice.
He's doing it to be nice. To you.
Anyway, the Randy version Kraken knife. is interesting.
Very
I
interesting.
Had never heard of Kraken.
PJ and B. Peanut butter and jelly. Threw down 20 bones. Hey, Carl. Hey, Steve. On the subject of night vision, what's the tale of the picture behind you? Peace, brother. Tale of the picture behind me. This is Rolex. And Rolex was the biggest working dog that I ever saw on Target. Rolex was a monster. And that's his dog handler. I apologize, I don't remember his name. That's actually a young sergeant major right there, Carl Erickson. And that was one of our ops in Mosul. And it was a good time. I was there. So anyway, we're doing SIGINT targeting one night. And remember, these dogs, Rolex, he's always biting like the dog sleeve or the dog suit, the big padded suit, right?
He's ready.
Rolex
He's ready
a monster.
Shit. He's ready.
Rolex is a monster, right? So we do this. We're right at the height of doing SIGINT targeting. We're locking up cell phones. So we're out there, and we got our little thing, and we're doing hot potato, right? The Predator drone's got the Typhon box. It's got the bad guy's cell phone locked up. We infill. We're heading towards the building, and they're playing hot potato. Right? You get there, and you're gonna do this. Figure out what floor the guy's on, because it's a big apartment building. So we're heading towards it, and we're heading straight towards the building. We got ladders. We got everything. And all of a sudden, the guy goes, "Oh, stop! Back this way." And we're like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "He's not in the building. He's not that way. He's that way." And we look, and there's a soccer field there, and power's out in Mosul. There's a little generator shed, the generator running, and there's nothing there except that little shed. So the whole assault force goes walking out there, and a little L-shaped ambush. We got security out and everything, and you look, and everybody's hitting it with their IR lights on their guns, and you see 3 toes sticking out of this thing. And we're like, "Hey, dude, we know you're there. Come on out." And those toes kind of pull up inside the building, and we're like, "Look, dude, you better come on out. Americans here, you're not getting away." Somebody throws a flashbang in there. Boom, goes off. This guy, he don't want to come out. So Roger that. Send Rolex in.
Yeah, I was about to say.
You
Rolex,
can see the
Rolex time.
Yeah, you can see the guy's feet there. He just pulled them in a little bit. There was no room. It's literally a shed. He's snuggled up around a generator. Rolex, that's Rolex, by the way. Rolex is a monster. Rolex goes in and grabs onto this guy by the ankle and goes to pull him and then lets go. And because he tasted blood. And he looked at us like, "Oh my God, did I do something wrong? I'm so sorry." And everybody's like, "Yeah, Rolex, yeah, go boy, go." And he went, "Really? It's okay for it to taste like steak? I'm in." And he grabbed onto that guy and he shredded him. I mean, he ripped that guy out, and the guy would try to yank his leg, and Rolex would grab up on the calf and just run and just grab the other leg, and Rolex just tore this boy up. And we're all like, "Yeah, Rolex, go, yeah, woohoo!" And we asked the guy to come out. He didn't want to come out. He didn't want to come out. You get to roll the dice with Rolex. And so, anyways, after Rolex realized it's okay for it to taste like steak, he became a monster. Rolex was a monster. Now, his handler, and I'm sorry I can't remember his name, it's right on the tip of my tongue. He would chase Rolex all through the shoot house, shooting blanks at that dog all day long. So to Rolex, guns are loud, but they don't hurt you. So Rolex was completely not scared of gunfire at all. You couldn't scare him. There was nothing that could scare this dog. We hit one place, same city, a couple days later, and same thing. It was kind of cool. Under night vision goggles, and I'm Sergeant Major, so I come out and the whole place is secure. We got the strikers all set up. Well, we didn't blow open the front door. We threw a guy over the wall, and he came and unlocked the gate. They opened the gate up. And so I come around, and there's 2 stacks of assault cells on both sides of the gate. I walk right up the middle, and I'm looking, and EP, Eric Perry, he's done some videos for us. On both sides of the front door of the house, there's 2 stacks of assaulters. Eric Perry is knelt down, lock-picking under nods. And I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, those are my boys. I was a proud Sergeant Major because those are my boys. They open up the door, and the power had been off in the city. This was wintertime. I want to say it was December 2010. 2009. And Eric Perry, they open the door, and we go in there, and all the family, there's one bad guy. He's sleeping in the living room on the floor. They got all the blankets, and for body heat, all the family sleeps inside the one room. And the guy's AK is leaning up against the wall. So the assault cells come in, and they're in every corner of the room, and everybody turned on their white light gun lights at the same moment. Click. Everybody turned the lights on, and this guy opened up his eyes, and remember the AK is laying right next to him. He started to go for the AK, and then he grabbed the infant off of his wife's chest and held the infant up in front of him to hide behind it. And there's literally the whole room is lined with stormtroopers with white lights on their M4s. Phooey. They let go Rolex. Phooey. Rolex went right underneath that baby, and Mama reached over, grabbed the baby, and so Dad's holding the baby. Mama reached over, grabbed the baby, and Rolex went right under the baby and grabbed that guy by the face and drug him. It was a beautiful thing. You're gonna hold up your baby. And so, anyways,
but you notice how.
Anyways, that's that picture. Picture.
What kinetic energy was describing when you have your assault cells set up, but instead of breaching the gate,
superstitious.
You got somebody go inside, unlock the gate, and he says he walks down the middle, and he's standing there. Everybody else is standing off to the side of the wall, getting ready to sweep in, but he walks right down the center, what we call the funnel of death, and he's kind of like my guy in Apocalypse Now. You smell that? You smell that? It's napalm, son.
It smells like freedom.
It smells like victory.
Yeah. I was so proud of my boys. I mean, literally, they could have blown open. And here's why you don't blow open the door. And that's what we used to blow open the front door, go in hard, and you'd catch that bad guy. There's no way for him to escape. The problem, though, is all the other bad guys in the city hear you blowing open the door, throwing all the flashbangs, and they're gone. But because we started going in quiet, going and stay blocked out, then when you have the guy, we're not allowed to torture anymore. So tactical questioning. So we're tactically questioning this guy, and you saw he hold his own baby up. He'd throw his mom under the bus to stay out of prison. So literally, they would tell you, "Look, I'm a nobody. My boss is 1 block that way." And so there were nights where they would hit 2, 3, 4 targets in one night, and you just can't do that when you're going loud. You just can't do it when you're going loud. So it worked out.
That is the ratio of why, for those of us who keep count, when you look at 5th Group's performance in Iraq and Afghanistan, when you look at the other national forces, nothing against you guys. You're whatever your alphabet is, CAG, and you see 5th Group has 165 hits, and you've got 42 hits, but you're in our ops center, want to look at everything we were prepping, and it's like, it's just, that's not the way we do things around here.
All right, next one is from Snowplow Man, 3 down 5 bones, calling Steve, is it bad to get a ballistic helmet wet? You know, the old ones, you weren't supposed to get Kevlar so wet because it comes apart like paper mache. But the reality is nah, all your modern ones, that's how you clean it. You clean it with soap and water. And understand they get funky from all your sweat. So as far as you getting it wet, now we would do drown proofing in the pools, everything. Dry your stuff out.
Long as you're not in an MRAP that happen to roll over into a canal,
it's gonna get wet.
And water's filling up into the vehicle, the helmet's going to tend to get wet. But other than that, no, it's going to be fine.
More important that you keep your gear clean. For example, we would sweat so much, and our inside of our helmets have the foam pads, the Mitch helmet pads. Those things soak up sweat, and literally I'd grab my helmet, and because most of our hits we do in the dark. Well, one time I went to grab my helmet, we were going out for a day hit, and I looked at that thing, all my pads were green, and it was just mold just growing. And you know what I did? I stuck that shit on my helmet because I was still going outside the wire. But when I came back in, that helmet went with me into the shower, and I cleaned all my pads in the shower and put them all back in my helmet, put it out in the sun, let it dry.
Just a quick comment.
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier when I first came in.
What's that?
This shit ain't bad, man.
It's not bad. What kind was it? Is that
the one you was bitching about? You only had 13 of them left.
No. Oh, that's the Patron.
Yeah.
So that's not wine. I thought you were drinking wine.
No. This is the.
Oh, that's
this is the
Patron.
thing.
Oh yeah, dude,
That's
you're
not
drinking
bad.
Cafe Patron XO.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
All right.
Okay. Let me ask a question. TR Nation.
TR Nation. That's you guys,
TR
by
Nation.
the way.
That's you guys.
You got to actually ask it. Steve.
Yeah, I'm going to ask. I'm trying to figure out how to word this. Okay. Fantastical. This came up earlier, and I want to.
Did you say fantastical?
Fantastical? Because we have so many things that are fantastical these days. You know, John Wick. That's fantastical. Because that shit ain't going to happen. Okay? Running through the nightclub, bodyguards running at you, boom, 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 throwing knives at each other, and you got this thin-ass bulletproof jacket. You know, no, that shit ain't gonna happen. So it's fantastical, okay? I love me some Avengers, and I love me some Thanos, and I love me some. Look, Rabbit!
I actually,
that's Nicholas Devere, whatever the damn
I
star
actually got
was.
a Thanos 2020 T-shirt.
Do you? Thanos.
I made him get along.
You
dude.
sound like a Thanos. Okay?
What I
love Thor and the Rabbit. So here's my fantastical question, Tactical Rifle Nation. If you could be an animal, or for you rainbow colored things could be an insect, animal or insect, you can only be combined with two of them. Okay, kind of like a griffin. Okay, everybody knows that a griffin is a cross between a lion and an eagle. Okay, so if you could be a cross between two animals or an insect, I mean, if you're a bug person, and you want to be, hey, I want to be half bug, go for it. But tell me what you would be.
You want that in the chat room?
Yeah, I want that in the chat room. We're gonna give us something. What are we gonna give us?
Okay.
You gotta have.
You want to do a giveaway? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. If you could be like, okay, some guy's gonna say, I want to be a bear, and I don't know what would you combine a bear with. I guess a bear and I don't know. I could be a bear, and half.
All right, here's the deal. Okay. We are going to give away a Primary Arms SLX RS10 Mini Reflex sight. These are their ones made. This is not Holosun. This is actually made by Primary Arms. It is a red dot. It's not a Vulcan, but this puppy is brand new. I opened the box only to look at it. And guys, this thing we are going to give it away on the live stream tonight because you guys are awesome. Comes with the cover on it, and
you gotta show them. It's got
oh, dude, it comes
all
with
the authentication paperwork and the manuals.
Badass.
And
dude, it's unopened, guys. It's brand new, never been mounted on the gun, and
so we would have to say somebody says, okay, I'm going to be a combination between a shark and a zebra. I don't know.
A shark and a zebra.
Shark, I don't know. But anyway, we have to say, now that's a badass combination. So give us what you think you would want to be, other than stuff that we already know, like a griffin, you know?
3 MOA red dot with 11 brightness settings, including 2 night vision settings. 100 MOAs of adjustment with 1 MOA click value. It runs off of a CR 2032 battery, which is included. The cover's included with it. Guys, totally badass. And it comes with the primary arms lifetime warranty. It's a nice little optic. It is. I like it, but it doesn't have the Vulcan reticle that I want. So they asked me to do a product review on it, and I'm not. I'm not going to do it.
Why are you always down with the negatives?
I'm just being honest to
them. Somebody's going to get this.
Somebody's going to get it. Somebody's going to get it. And we're giving it away tonight.
Okay. They're going to love it. You're going to love it.
Here's what you got to put in the chat room. All right. The word Steve, and then whatever animal combo you want to be. And that Steve word will be what Susan and Donut and everybody will look for.
And we will look for, out of all the things that you're going to say, it's going to have to be something like, man, now that's a badass combination. That's a combination between a bear and a velociraptor. Or some shit like that, you know. The bad. I mean, that's like bad.
All right,
you know?
Real quick, though. You guys understand when you say, I identify as... So, for example, like Steve identifies as a male. When you say, I identify as a unicorn or whatever it is you do, when you say, I identify as, that's the same as you saying, I pretend to be. I'm just saying, you know, and I call apple, I call orange. You know what? You can do whatever you want. Do whatever you want.
Call.
I'm just saying.
You make the path of a righteous man.
Yep.
It's always beset by the inequities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Tactical Rifle Nation. Blessed is he who, in the name of charity and goodwill, shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for we are truly our brothers and our sisters' keepers.
All right.
We will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger for those who try to offend our brothers who identify other than what they identify as. You will name our name is Tactical Rifle Nation. We bring our vengeance upon you.
We're good. You guys got a whopping 13 minutes to do this. Susan is going to draw the winner at 9:30. 9:30 is going to be totally badass. Oh, and the sad part, Steve, though, is, I was just looking at this. Do you realize, dude, that we've only got 288 likes?
Oh, man.
I'm just saying. I didn't want to go there, but yeah. So you guys can identify as a football bat if you want, but
no, you can't do that. You can't do whatever you want. We're not into that. Your inner self identification. Okay, what did I say at the beginning of this? I said fantastical. Okay, fantastical. Okay, now, do the 6 Infinity Stones really exist? We don't give a shit because Iron Man got them. He got all 6, and he took the hit for the team.
I want to thank Primary Arms for supporting this giveaway. Primary Arms is awesome. Primary Arms is awesome.
You know what would be a badass combination? Well, I know the one part of a badass combination, but I can't figure the other part. Like, you ever see that commercial with a woman, and she's doing like the Medusa thing, and she got the Medusa, and she turns, she goes,
she's like Medusa.
And the guy turns to stone.
That's Medusa.
That's Medusa.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that bitch bad, man.
You want to do part Medusa?
No, I'm just saying that if you could, like, you have like whole Medusa snake thing going.
All right, guys, this live stream is 2.5 hours long. And 2.5 hours long, and we are talking about how Greek mythology is not good enough. So we've got to modify it and combine a Medusa with something else that's cooler. Now, see, that axe is a little better, but not much. Not
Well,
much.
this one, I haven't quite figured this one out yet. This is another Israeli design. It's so small. I'm thinking, man, am I going to, but I do like, it's lightweight. It's got the little thing so you can like unscrew nuts and stuff.
That's that rabbi circumcision tool, dude.
that
Why
what
are
it
you
is?
holding that, dude? Look at all the hairs stuck on the handle. What have you
that's
been
where that
using
came
that
from.
for, dude?
Man,
Anyway,
flashbacks. Don't
all
do
right,
it.
don't do it. Don't do it. All right.
Yeah, man. You see that commercial? It's the beatbox. It's the beatbox. You got a Medusa head thing going, and she goes,
Hey, JT. JT's already gone because we're past 9:30. But for all my moderators, I want to let you guys know I got JT his belt, and for my other moderators there, I got Chem Student and Honey Bunny are actually coming to take the medical class and Pistol 101 in July.
Before I
It's gonna be
forget,
awesome.
shout out to my tequila man. We have not. What do you call it? If we don't. What is it? What did he say? What was it? If we don't taste the dog or chase the dog or something that night. Remember when he said the tequila bottle, the beautiful Mexican, and he said that if we don't
Ring the bell.
ring the bell, okay.
We
Taste
don't
the
ring the
dog,
bell.
ring the bell. Hey, a dog and a bell. Yeah. Anyway, go back to the Medusa commercial. It's the beatbox.
How did we get on Medusa, Steve?
Because I'm thinking
This
like
is-
if you combine, fantastically speaking, two creatures
Okay.
that everybody would say, now that's badass. Like okay, like a velociraptor.
Okay.
Everybody knows you don't go in the tall grass. Okay, don't go in the tall grass. I do that down in Panama.
Medusa and Velociraptor mix.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean the Velociraptor's head is already badass. I mean he's got like these arms that can fuck you up. He's got those big ass claws on his feet that can fuck you up. Then he's got a big ass. I mean he's well equipped.
A Velociraptor behind a minigun.
Now.
What would that mating call be, Steve? What would that mating call be?
I knew you were going to see that.
Hello?
Now, a
Mating call.
Velociraptor. Now, technically, okay, you look at...
Sexy coin, ain't it?
Yeah, it is. Open it up.
No, shit, no.
Shut the sexiness.
Damn cowboy on
Damn
the
cow.
other side.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Keep going.
A Velociraptor.
What noise does it make, Steve, when it's behind the minigun?
They talk to each other. Call. You Aussie guys can probably do it better than I can. Go.
Steve, you you remember back in the day before hard drives and all this other shit. Remember when an A-team would go overseas, you always had the team box made out of sheet of plywood,
right?
And it had the VHS player, and
yeah.
all the VHS tapes, and we would have every movie under the sun. Top Gun and Commando and Rambo, all the movies.
You take a VHS tape and you push that button, you flip that lid up where the tape is, and you shake all the sand out of that shit like that right there, And you always get to that part where you knew the sand had messed it up, and you knew it was coming. It's like, man, why does that sand always get on the good part? It never get on like the introduction of who the producer was. I don't give a shit about that, man. Like I Dream of Jeannie. Do 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 do. What's his name? Barbara Eden. Oh my gosh, white girl. White girl, fine. We always say, man, is that Air Force guy ever going to hit that?
Dude, he was tapping the shit out of that.
I was like, dude, it's been like 10 seasons.
He was tapping that.
It's 10 seasons. She's still like, oh, master. I said, dude, come on, put a brother in that show.
that whole bottle, that thing had like a 4-speed vibrator on it. It did, dude. It did.
Yeah.
You know what he was doing with that bottle. All right. He just spit tequila all over my wall over here. I mean, all over the
That's water, man.
Uh-huh.
I knew what you were about to say. He's all over that bottle. I was like, if you identify as a bottle, okay. So now, some of you guys out there like, who the hell is I Dream of Genie? Check it out.
Yeah, that
was back in the day. There was no visual effects on those abs, man. Shut the abs. She's like, boo.
That shit was real. That shit was real back then. That shit was real. All right, guys. So we've had Steve Holland on tonight. We had Jamie on earlier. We're gonna do our giveaway.
Brother Jamie.
We're gonna wrap this thing up tonight. Honestly, I got a ton of stuff to do tomorrow. We got some crappy weather outside.
Do we?
Who makes that one, Steve?
It's Cold Steel.
That looks like Cold Steel.
Well, I don't want to bring anyone.
Cold Steel makes good knives, dude.
They do.
make good
They do.
knives.
But I'm still looking for that one that when you put it in your hand, you go like.
I want to remind everybody that sincerely, ideas for video. I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but what I will do is, you guys know the deal. I do read all your comments. I don't always respond to them, but I do read everybody's original comment. If you guys are going back and forth with some other ass clown on a video that's 20 years old, I don't read all those comments. But if you, no joke, put a unique new comment on any one of our 500 videos, it pops up on my phone. There's an app called YouTube Studio, and sincerely put it in the comment section under this video. What kind of videos would you like to see? Ideas for videos. And I do a couple times a year, I actually take videos that you guys ask for, and I'll add them on the list. Steve owes me a list of videos that he would like to do. We might even have Sularoo coming in. All right.
Okay, this the Medusa commercial I was talking about.
Oh, shit.
This year, shit on my head.
All right, so I got 3 here for Steve to pick from. You guys understand why I can't let Steve drive home after this. You understand the effects of alcohol.
See how
all right, here's the deal. All right, so
right here.
Steve gets to choose the winner here. I'm not giving him the names. The first one is, you're listening?
I'm listening.
All right. Combination of a unicorn and a dragonfly. That's number 1. Number 2 is Puma bunny stalking dangerous horny. LOL. Puma bunny.
A puma. That's like a mountain lion bunny.
Yeah.
Like cougar.
All right. So the first one, unicorn, dragonfly, Puma bunny, and the last one is Medusa Rolex, the dog. Medusa Rolex. Those are your 3 choices. Puma bunny, unicorn, dragonfly, or Medusa Rolex. Right now, Steve is fantasizing about seeing all 3 of them naked.
Now, what was with the unicorn? Was it is
unicorn, dragonfly.
Okay, so that would be like it's got wings.
He's actually visualizing these things naked right now. I just
Yeah,
want you guys to know what you've done.
But you have to. So it's a unicorn. Obviously it's got a horn on the head, but it's got a dragonfly body, buzzing around. Okay, what was the other one?
A puma bunny. Puma bunny.
So is it like the bunny head on a puma body, or puma head on a bunny hopping around? Okay.
Steve, you run with that visualization however you want. The last one is a Medusa Rolex. So I would assume it's Medusa head on Rolex body. So basically Rolex with a fro.
So
come on, Steve, throw that shit out there. What do you got? What you got?
I'm gonna have to go with the unicorn dragonfly.
Unicorn dragonfly, guys. We have got a winner. It is D. Steiner. D. Steiner, congratulations. You just
Steiner.
won the SLX RS10
Unicorn Dragonfly.
mini reflex sight for your pistol. I mean, you can put it on an AR.
A unicorn.
Yeah, it would go good on a
Dragonfly.
small pistol caliber carbine. It
Or
really
it
would.
could be like
All right, so
a unicorn.
D. Steiner, here's what I need you to do. I need you to take a picture
Of your
avatar and email it to tacticalrifleman1@gmail.com. That is tacticalrifleman1@gmail.com. It's got to have a picture of your avatar. Remind me what it is you won. It is the Primary Arms RS10 pistol optic. Why do I say that? Because you guys remember we gave this away, right? We gave this away quite a while ago, and I never got an email from the guy that won it. So I will go back and double check, but neither one of those have gone in the mail yet. So do that for me, please. All right, let's see what else we got here. David Steiner, he's on Zooms. He's actually a patron, so that's cool. I'm glad to see David win something. That's awesome. No, he did not get picked for being a patron. You notice I didn't mention names at all. I let Steve pick them up. My son just texted me, wake me up at 8, please. We'll film after coffee if you want. He must have forgot I'm in the middle of a live stream live with 500 viewers
Nick,
right now.
Believe me, Nick, I understand. I get treated the same way. Steve, use out the door.
All right, Nick. Yes, I will wake you up at 8 o'clock. You guys know the deal. I do coffee at 8 and finish my workout after that, and then start my day. Good stuff.
Now, it's just me. It's just me. Okay?
It's just you, Steve.
Yeah, just me. Medusa Rolex guy. This is yours. This is going to you.
Medusa Rolex
Rolex
guy. All right. So
you
you're
get
giving
his
us second
avatar.
place. All right. So the Israeli circumcision tool goes to
Medusa Rolex.
Medusa Rolex guy. Medusa Rolex
'Cause it's
guy.
growing on me.
Okay, hold on.
It's growing on me.
It's growing on you like a fungus. All right. Medusa Rolex guy. That is Dus777. Donate if you can put that in there. Dus777. You just won the Israeli circumcision tool with belt clip. And same thing. I need you, Dus777. Send me an email, picture of your avatar. Send it to tacticalrifleman1@gmail.com. That is tacticalrifleman1@gmail.com. And I'll get this stuff in the mail. I got a couple of things. I got to mail JT his belt. I want to get that pistol light out. I want to get that pistol optic out and the circumcision tool. Again, I want to thank our sponsor tonight, USCCA. You guys check them out, guys, because legitimately, you pull the trigger, understand that bullet you shoot, it's going straight through that bad guy right into the jury pool. So you need to protect yourself, and the best way to do that is with a good USCCA membership. Become the prepared protector that you need to be with a USCCA membership. I want to thank them for sponsoring our live stream. I want to thank Steve for coming on tonight. I want to thank Jamie Gap for coming on earlier. We did questions for a cop. I'll keep having him on. You guys know I support law enforcement. I do. And I know a lot of people bash law enforcement. The reality is, guys, they got a tough job. And when I was overseas playing Army, trying to keep the fight over there, who was home protecting my family? And the reality is it's local law enforcement, and people bitch that they get treated rudely at a traffic stop. But I understand every time they get out of that cruiser and they walk up to the side of that car, guys, they could be seconds away from losing their life. And it's a shitty way to make a living. It's a chosen profession, them giving selflessly of themselves. And are there bad cops out there? Yeah. There are. Are there bad doctors out there? Yep. Are there bad taxi drivers? A better question is, are there good taxi drivers out there? The answers are yes, there are. I think I've met 2 good taxi drivers in my life. But they're out there. It is what it is. So anyways, I support my law enforcement. You guys know I do. Again, I'll be back next Tuesday, right back here. And we're going to start filming our next batch of Tactical Rifleman videos. If you're interested in signing up for any of our classes, you can go to tacticalrifleman.com. I've got a bunch of slots left for the medical classes coming up. But also September. All right, so I got shooting classes in July. Advanced pistol carbine zero mastery, combat pistol carbine, combat pistol 101. These are all in September. Some of them are also in July. Bunch of great classes coming up, but the medical classes, man, they're so awesome. So you guys can check those out at tacticalrifleman.com. You sign up right there, easy stuff. And we will see you guys next time. We will. Steve, last parting words for these fine human beings that we have here. No?
Yes, I have a few parting words. God bless you all. I'm not going to just say God bless America because I know it's more than just Americans watching. God bless everybody. And
that's fair.
Be the good shepherd. Shepherd the weak through the valley of darkness. Be your brothers and sisters' keeper. Because there's a lot of other people out there that aren't. And they need some correction.
Help them out, guys. Help out your brother to your left and right. All right. Y'all take care and shoot straight.
He's coming right there.